Hello and welcome to Not Gambling Advice, the baseball betting stream on the Just Baseball Network. It is Tuesday, June 27th, and my job is to deliver you some MLB winners. Come on! Yesterday was huge. We're starting up a few minutes early, so of course we're going to get a bunch of people to come in just because we have so many goddamn picks today. Right? I know I'm going to give you my best three. We're going to do a community prize picks entry where we do 6 legs, 5 legs, whatever we're feeling is the best. And every single time slot today is filled with all of our great contributors. We had a great day on stream yesterday, Producer Cohen. 35 different picks today. We got a 15-game MLB slate. I cannot wait. Vibes are incredible. I'm feeling amazing. I can't lie to you. We got the book it rate. Hello, everybody. I'm coming off a heater and I'm feeling ready to roll. And I needed it, ladies and gentlemen. I needed it so badly. I think I was 3 for 17 on MLB picks. I've never had a streak like that. The longest active streak I had for losing between the NFL and the MLB. People forget about my NFL picks. I'm pretty good. People like say, oh, he just knows MLB. Don't sleep. We're going to do NFL later. I never lost more than 7 in a row. I went 3 and 17. So a perfect sweep of the board yesterday. Felt amazing. And of course, we are sponsored and brought to you by the Pikkit Sports App. All lines will be on BetMGM. So all the lines that you see here, those are the lines available on BetMGM. And then on Prize Picks, we're going to do a full 6-leg community entry. We have 35 different picks today. And that doesn't even include my 3. We got a loaded show. Hopefully you guys will stick around. I just feel good. I'm not going to lie to you. I just feel damn good. I'm not going to lie to you. Producer Colin, let's do a quick recap of yesterday. Bring that shit up. Come on. It's not the biggest unit day, right? Because it was just putting a unit on it. We had some half-unit plays, but goddamn, it felt good. Damn, a full sweep felt good. That doesn't even include the over in LSU, Florida, which I pitched on stream, which doesn't end up counting. But that also, of course, added to my wallet, not to the stream. Because if you're new, if you're coming in from the Book It Raid, first of all, welcome. Second of all, this is a competition, right? It's myself against everybody else. It's not just me and then everybody else as a group. It's every person for themselves. And whoever has the most units at the end of this MLB season will win World Series tickets. Whoever finishes second will get a $500 cash prize. And if I finish first or I finish second, a subscriber of this Twitch stream will get my prizes. This is the current leaderboard tracked on the Pikkit Sports App for full transparency purposes. This is the reality of betting. A lot of people like to say you'll find VIPs out there who are up a trillion units. Yeah, fat chance. This is the reality of betting. These are some of the smartest baseball minds I could find. You're going to hear when they make their pitches, right? This is the reality. It's an up and down year. The results that you see right now are not the results you're going to see tomorrow, and they're not going to be the results you see next week. It's just going to keep going up and down. That's the grind. We love it, and that's why we do what we do. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, my picks. We're going to go over home runs, Dinger Tuesday. We got 35 different picks, and then we're going to end it with our community prize picks entry. Hopefully you guys will stick around. Shout out the Book It Sports Raid. Shout out Trent. GOAT. Shout out. Bruce Collins, let's get into the first pick of the day. Let's get into the first goddamn pick of the day, and we're going to start with San Diego Padres. And shout out the Book It Sports chat. I saw everybody chirping me like, well, would you take Padres team total over if Yu Darvish isn't pitching? I mean, come on, let's be better. I mean, it might not hit. I'm not saying this is any lock by any stretch of the imagination, but Yu Darvish has no bearing on this. And it was funny when I was looking at this game originally. I was like, damn, Yu Darvish is due for some nice positive regression. Damn, his road ERA is not what it seems to be. This feels like so perfect, right? Padres bullpen is rested. Seems so perfect, right? But I just could not bring myself to actually bet my hard-earned money. We work every day. You put money in your pocket and you're going to risk it on the Padres bullpen. You're going to risk it on road Yu Darvish. I will not be doing so. But what I will be doing so, and again, could lose. But what I have the most confidence in is the Padres bats. Let's talk about it. So soft tossing left-handers against the Padres is their favorite matchup. The results are fantastic. If we return to their last 5 matchups against left-handed pitchers throwing under 92 miles an hour, they put up 7 runs against Patrick Corbin. They put up 6 runs against Alex Wood. So if you're like, well, Patrick Corbin ain't any good. Alex Wood's pretty good. 6 runs against Alex Wood. 5 runs against Logan Allen. Another good pitcher for the Guardians. They only scored 1 run against Kyle Freeland, though. But they left a million runners on base. Could happen. It's baseball. That's what happened in that game. And then they put up 7 runs on Austin Gomber. This Padres offense, they have a type, right? If you're out at the bar, you have a type. The Padres have a type, and his name is Rich Hill. Rich Hill can be effective when following hard-throwing right-handers. And I want to shout out my guy, Jake Hazen. Him and I were texting about this last night. He actually put me onto this, right? It's about using the community here. I'm not perfect. I didn't even know this. Jake actually brought this to my attention, and he's going to come on and he's going to give his picks. So his deception can be really tough to pick up after facing guys like Mitch Keller, Luis Ortiz, Yohan Oviedo, Roansy Contreras, or Vince Velasquez. Makes sense, right? They're hard-throwing right-handers, and then you get Rich Hill throwing 74-mile-an-hour curveballs. If you play baseball, like you know sports, like just that change, right? You got Mitch Keller throwing 97 with hammers of slurves, and then you got Rich Hill. It might just trip you up a little bit. And that's where a lot of Rich Hill's best outings have been. But not when the team has an off day going into it, right? For example, the lowly Brewers, right? They're not lowly, but they definitely are against lefties, one of the worst in Major League Baseball. They hit him up for 5 runs in 5 innings that day, right? Giants faced him in the first game of the series. This is just the last 2 where I could find. They had put up 13 runs in that game, all right? So Rich Hill is also due for some regression to the mean. His 4.58 Sierra, 5.44 expected ERA combined with below average stuff plus place him in the bottom of the league regarding starting pitchers. He's in the 14th percentile of expected ERA. And my idea of the Pirates bullpen is not what they are. I like a lot of them long term, but they're not pitching well, right? They're 24th in ERA, the bullpen is, 26th in WHIP, 24th in walks per 9, 18th in Ks per 9, 27th in hits per 9, 20th in home runs per 9. There's 30 teams. It's not a good bullpen. David Bednar, though, has been great. But the Pirates are driving him into the ground. He's thrown 29 pitches in the last 3 days, 49 in the last 5 days. We should expect to see him because the Pirates just don't give a shit. Like, they're just going to throw him and be like, you're our best, please throw. But he's not going to be at full strength. And besides him, nobody in the Pirates bullpen really gives me any pause. Another factor on our side, PNC Park, 3rd highest projected run scoring environment by Ballpark Pal today. Wind is blowing out. But wind is important when the pitchers make sense for wind. And hear me out on this one. If wind is blowing out, but you have ground ball pitchers, it doesn't really matter as much because the ball's going to be on the ground. But Rich Hill is rocking the lowest ground ball rate of his career, 34.5%. That's one of the lowest in Major League Baseball. So you got a fly ball pitcher in the wind in a great spot for the Padres. It's a little bit juicy, and I'm not laying everything, right? I'm not laying 1.5 units. You guys know I don't like to lay juice, but it's worth a play. It's worth a play. Would I take it 5? Yes, because I got to land on 5. On BetMGM, it's only 4.5 or 5.5. It's now at 5.5 on my book. Well, guys, we got to remember too, we play lines on BetMGM. So if you use code JustBaseball, I know it's corp, but that's the reality of the situation. Like, if you want to play the lines that I'm playing and use code JustBaseball, you will get a deposit match. I don't know what to tell you. Like, would I play 5.5? I'd play it for a lower unit. Like, the difference between 5 and 6 runs is a lot, right? Especially for one team to do in 9 innings. So would I take a 5.5? I would just lower the risk, right? Maybe a half unit play. But I think, right, the Ballpark Pal model has them at 5. The total is going up. I like the Padres to score a bunch of runs today. So if it ends up happening on 6, great. But remember, it's not just we're throwing shit at the wall hoping things stick. Plus EV, right? This is how I view it. I'm getting value on this number. So I bet over 4.5. And it's available on BetMGM as we speak. Okay? So would I play at 5.5? Yes. Would just lower the risk. Next play. Philadelphia Phillies versus Chicago Cubs at 8:05 p.m. Eastern. The pitching matchup is Ranger Suarez versus Jameson Taillon. So the Ballpark Pal model, which we use all the time, hates Ranger Suarez. I was donating when I was trying to find ways to fade him. It actually worked early on, but then he's just been on this roll. And we took him against the Braves. Of course, Strider just was otherworldly dominant, but Ranger was so good again, and he's been so good in June, pitching to a 1.04 ERA. When he's on like this, you kind of have to like blindly tail him in a way because I don't know if you guys remember, like Ranger Suarez, when he goes through these stretches, he is unhittable. I don't know what it is. I mean, I do. Keeps the ball on the ground. He's throwing it all over the strike zone. The command of the strike zone is excellent. That's what he's looking for, right? And the model has this game capped at 8.5 while hating Ranger Suarez, which is why I like it even more. They have him allowing 3 runs through 5 innings against a Cubs team coming off a London series. I will gladly pay to be on the wrong side of that one. Now, the one thing that the Cubs do really well is they are a patient bunch. They're one of baseball's most disciplined offenses when it comes to waiting for the right pitch to hit. But the issue is when they do get their pitches to hit, they aren't hitting it all that well. In the last 30 days, they have the 18th ranked WRC plus and hard hit rate, right? So they're a below average offense against left-handed pitching. And even since May began, going back farther than 30 days, they rank 18th in WRC plus against lefties. And you say, well, Peter, this is their better split. When I look at how good they are against lefties, they have a 771 OPS this season. I agree. But a lot of that was on the backs of April, where they put up a 132 WRC plus. That was second in all of Major League Baseball. So for the month of April, this was the second best offense against lefties. Lately, since May, oh, I just sneezed. We're back. I've never sneezed on stream before. We're back. Almost lost my train of thought. Under. So Rangers' quality of contact against the Cubs has been superb. It's been great. Through 59 plate appearances against the Cubs' current roster, 225 xWOBA, 196 expected batting average, and a 258 expected slugging. Really, really low. The Cubs' bat should be increasingly slow, again, considering they will be jet lagged from their flight back from London. Now, I want to bet on the Phillies, right? Give you a really good pitch to take the Phillies. Not so fast. I feel like the money line is a landmine. It's really, really short, as is the Astros. Jameson Taillon's last start against the Phillies went terribly, and he allowed multiple home runs and exited the game early. The model also has the Cubs as slight favorites in this game. Now, Taillon does have fine quality of contact numbers against the Phillies through 78 plate appearances, 325 xWOBA, 259 expected batting average, 418 xLUG. It's pretty good, but that's including like a 7-run offensive performance from the Phillies in his last start, right? So both bullpens are pretty rested for this one. Both had off days yesterday. There isn't really a clear advantage on either side. The Cubs bullpen has been a little bit more productive, but the Phillies bullpen grades better long-term because they have better stuff in the back end. When both are rested and they're using high-quality arms, I like both bullpens. Now, a large part of this bet is the weather, right? We have 10 miles an hour wind blowing in, which is when Wrigley is the most affected ballpark by wind. It's not extreme wind. I'm not here to tell you like, holy shit, the line's going to move 4 runs like we see sometimes with Wrigley overs and unders, but there is wind coming in, which will undoubtedly affect offense, right? So I only bet 1 unit on this, and I was writing it up, and then I went to go put back more, and then it dropped, right? It's at 8.5 now. My next bet, you're going to see actually lost line movement, right? So I make bets night before. I roll with what I roll with. This one went in my direction. The next one I'm about to tell you did not go in my direction. It is what it is. Would I play at 8.5? Yes. Would just lower the risk a little bit, right? I think it's what? Producer Cohen, what is, let me check BetMGM right now. Yeah, I want to pull up BetMGM and tell us what the line is. Yeah, Darvish got scratched. I don't give a shit. I'm taking Padres bats. Over 8.5 minus 110. Yeah, I would just under 8.5 minus 1. 8.5 minus 110. Yeah, I would just keep it at a. I mean, I think it goes under, to be completely honest with you. DK is 8.5 even money on Cubs Phillies. I would just keep it up to you guys. If you guys like the pitch, like for example, throw a unit on it, right? If you like the pitch, the gambling community, I'm not saying you guys, the gambling community as a whole doesn't take a lot of responsibility when they hear a bet that they like. If you like the pitch, I love the play. I'm on under 9. Put a full unit on it. Now, it's lost a little bit of value, of course. So if I was re-betting this, maybe be 0.8 units, right? Go with what you think. If you really like the pitch, you really like this under, go for it. If you feel like it lost too much value, stay away, right? Rome wasn't built in one day. We'll be back tomorrow. You'll be back tomorrow. Let's continue to roll. All right. Pick number 3. So this one I lost a little bit, as we can tell. right? If you could pull up BetMGM, what line are we looking at on BetMGM right now for this over? Actually, we'll do that at the end. So the pitching matchup is Clayton Kershaw versus Connor Siebold. So, again, got a bad number. I make my bets the night before, whatever. More often than not, I'm on the right side. Sometimes I'm on the wrong side. Shit happens. So what I told myself is I would blindly bet the over at Coors Field if the park factor on Ballpark Pal was above 33%. Basically, I think that is a system when the weather is that good that it almost doesn't matter who's pitching. It's crazy, right? If you go through all these games, which I will in a second, runs just are scored. Fly balls end up being home runs. Fly balls that would be flyouts or doubles and triples. Shit just happens at Coors Field. It's a crazy ballpark. So why am I doing that? And why have I done that since the beginning of the season? And why are we now continuing to play it? So it's very rare that it's 33% or above. The last time it was above 35% was back on May 17th, where the Rockies beat the Reds 11-6, 17 runs. It was at 33% back on May 4th. Rockies beat the Brewers 9-6. On April 30th, the park factor was at 34%. Rockies won 12-4. On April 12th, it was at 38%. And the Cardinals won 7-4, right? That was the lone loss in the system, which ended on 11, right? So 11.5, 12 doesn't really make a big difference to me, right? Of course, like 11.5, if it lands on 12, you get a winner. These games appear to go under or they go way over. And so 11.5, 12, it's not a big difference for me, right? The Padres team total, it's very specific. That is much more important. This over, it's not that important to me. Or, I mean, the pick is important to me, but the exact line is not that important. So that's why, like, sometimes I'll come on and be like, shit, guys, moved in the opposite direction. We got to be careful. This one, I'm not. It's either going to hit or it's not. It's either going to soar or it's going to, like, land on 10 or 11. There will be runs scored in this game. Because it's supposed to be in the mid to high 80s at game time. It's just such ideal weather conditions for hitters. Now, Clayton Kershaw does not like pitching in Coors Field. In 23 career starts, Clayton Kershaw has a 4.44 ERA and is striking out less than a batter per 9 innings. It's also gotten increasingly worse over the years. In 2022, he threw twice. He allowed 9 earned runs to give him an 8.68 ERA. In 2021, he had 1 start and allowed 10 hits and 5 earned to give him a 7.94 ERA. Connor Siebold is on the other side, who the Dodgers, they like Connor Siebold. They've only seen him once, but jumped all over him, where he allowed 4 runs in 3 innings. They posted an 8.51 X slug and 12 ABs. It's pretty good. That's fucking awesome. So, sure, the bullpen's had a day off to rest, and there's intriguing arms on both sides, but not to scare me off at all. Producer Cohen, do we have the prize picks board possibly loaded up? I want to show people what prize picks props look like for these Dodgers. So just search Dodgers in the search bar, would you please? All right, let's look at these. So first of all, we got a Clayton Kershaw 2.5 earned runs. Can you click on that little thing up there? He doesn't do that often. Click the X. Now, bring me down to Freddie Freeman's 10.5 fantasy score. Give me James Outman's 1.5 total bases. Give me Mookie Betts, Miguel Vargas. Look at all these. Will Smith, 2.5 hits and runs. Will Smith. Like, everyone is on there. Now, could it be a trap? Dodgers don't hit today? Sure. But that's a good sign when you're taking an over, right? A lot of these guys are really, really juiced. But again, let's go back to our regular screen. So both teams should have reinforcements coming back. Have the Dodgers announced their lineup yet? Give me a sec. They have not. But CJ Cron is back for the Rockies, which is huge because he is a Coors merchant. He rakes at Coors. He has been out of the lineup for a very long time, and the Rockies have been really struggling against lefties. But the good thing is they know Kershaw. They've seen him hundreds and hundreds of times. Kershaw does not like pitching in Coors Field. Rockies bat should show up today, and I love seeing CJ Cron back in this lineup for them. But on the Dodgers side, Max Muncy should return today, which is another big power bat for the Dodgers. He will definitely be a welcomed addition to this team. They need another one of these big sluggers. I mean, they don't really because they're the Dodgers, but having Max Muncy, having CJ Cron back in the lineup, of course, it's their first day back, so who knows? Maybe they cannot perform very well, but at least having them in the lineup makes me feel much better about this over. So I took it at 12. if I'm not mistaken, if we could pull back up maybe the BetMGM odds, I think, what is it, minus 115 towards the over?
Right here, 11.5 over 11.5.
Minus 105? Well, that's shitty. BetMGM. Am I looking at the right thing? Let's see. Well, we're definitely getting the worst of the number, ladies and gentlemen. No doubt about that. I mean, I don't really care. I mean, bets lose all the time. We lose a bet, we lose a bet. But yeah, 11.5 at minus 105. That is taking a little bit of a steep drop off. That is taking a little bit of a steep drop off, ladies and gentlemen. If you do not like that line movement going in the opposite direction, not ideal. Not ideal. We're not very happy about it. I'm still playing it, though. Yeah, we didn't lose the bet. I'm still playing it. I'm still playing it, right? Yeah, and it's so funny, too, because, like, we see line movement. I mean, long term, no doubt about it. I do not want to say that you want to be on the right side of the line movement. Long term. Does it mean you win the bet? Absolutely not. We'll see. We'll see. All right, so I'm going to be on the over 12. I'm riding it. All right, what time is it? Pure 068. Thank you for subbing, my friend. We got 10 minutes. Might be time to talk about the Ballpark Pal model. Again, we got park factors, game simulations, and a matchup machine in order to give you guys the best bets for the day based on math, right? Just math. Model simulates these games 1,000 times, and it can show value on either side. Yeah, let's do home runs. That's appetizing. That's appetizing. Freddie, JD, Outman, Mookie, McMahon, Will Smith, Vargas. Remember, because what we like to see, but again, guys, if you want specific games, because we'll go through each specific game for you quickly before we get to our people. But I also want to say too, what we like to do is look at who's weird up here. I think number one weirdo is James Outman. That's the number one weirdo, right? Because, yeah, great. Freddie Freeman's up there. But his home run odds are going to be super, like, it's going to be like, what, plus 250, plus 210? I don't even know what it is. We want to look for guys who are never normally up here. So when I'm looking through this, who do I think is really, really weird? Because I look through this all the time. Ryan O'Hearn. Ryan O'Hearn being up here is weird. Ryan O'Hearn being up here is weird. There's not a lot of weirdos outside of James Outman, Ryan O'Hearn, Miguel Vargas. Spencer Steer's kind of weird, but he's just been hitting home runs lately, so it's not that weird. But again, Tyler Wells is always due for a homer. That's like a classic Tyler Wells game. 5 innings, 2 runs, 2 homers, 2 solo shots. Seth Brown being up here is a little weird. Who else is weird? I would say, okay, so the weirdos are James Outman, Miguel Vargas, Ryan O'Hearn, and kind of Spencer Steer. But I would limit it to those 3. If you guys want to do a home run lay, if you just want home run bets at all for Dinger Tuesday, James Outman would be my number one choice by far. I do like Miguel Vargas, and Ryan O'Hearn I think is a very good one. Oh, O'Hearn's not playing? Let's see. Let's go to Baltimore's lineup. O'Hearn is not playing, so never mind. Miguel Vargas, James Outman. I think one of those guys is going to hit a home run. I lean James Outman. That would be my favorite Dinger Tuesday play. I want this clipped. James Outman is hitting a home run today. I was doing this. That's weird. James Outman is hitting a home run today. Count on it. Okay? He's hitting a home run.
Do you want to go over the subscriber thing? Henry just sent you a text.
Yeah.
It's super easy to go
Yeah, let's go over the subscriber thing because it's new. So we're doing a subscriber thing because people have been subbed for a while, right? Because you want to enter into the competition. Like if I win or I get second place, a subscriber of this Twitch channel is getting World Series tickets. Like, have you ever seen how much World Series tickets are? Or a $500 cash prize, right? So what we're doing is we're doing a tier system. So 1 month subscribed to tier 1 is 1 entry ticket into the lottery. 1 month subscribed to tier 2, 2 entry tickets into the lottery. 1 month subscribed to tier 3 is 3 entry tickets into the lottery. Like if a user was subscribed to tier 1 from April to September, which is 6 months, he would have 6 entry tickets. If another user, if user Fat Chicks was subscribed at tier 2 from April to September, which is 6 months, he would have 12 entry tickets. If user Winning Degenerate was subscribed at tier 1 in June and July just for 2 months, he would have 2 entry tickets to the raffle at the end of the season. Think about it like a lottery. You put more in, the more you sub, right? But again, you don't have to sub. But if you want to be entered in to win all of those prizes, if I win, I might not win. I'm in 4th right now. But again, I've been dog shit lately. All right, let's go to the ballpark pound model. Let's look at some more games. Look at some more games for the people. Okay. Outman just got put into Seabold Academy. Yeah, we'll see about that. All right, so this is game number 1. I'll follow along with producer Cohen as he goes down. So, which is actually interesting with this game. The park factor was at 15% earlier today. It has gone down, and therefore the projection for the Reds has gone a little bit down. It thinks this game is though pretty much set up as it should be. Totals at 8.5. Orioles are minus 145. Thinks it should be minus 133. Not really much value on either side. If you put a gun in my head and said you have to bet this game, I'd probably, I don't even know, honestly. I might look at the Orioles. I just think the Reds are going to come down a little bit to earth here. I do still like Tyler Wells. He's one of my favorite kind of get-outs guys in Major League Baseball. Models don't like him, but he just continues to shove. He did screw us over for that first 5 over against the Rays when he threw a freaking dribbler over the first baseman's head and ended up scoring 2 runs and we lost on the hook, but that's baseball. But other than that, Tyler Wells is I think he's just a good-ass pitcher. He's better than Andrew Abbott. I know Abbott has been fantastic for the Cincinnati Reds. Young lefty, but the Orioles really hit lefties well. I would go with the Orioles, but again, I'm not going to be betting this game. Let's talk Padres-Pirates. Let's scroll down a little bit. Again, right, still is Yu Darvish, but I don't care about the Pirates' projection. I don't care about Yu Darvish's projection. I care about that 5 number for the San Diego Padres. I think they score 5 or more. That's my point. I think there's going to be 5 or more runs scored for the San Diego Padres today. And as you can see at PNC Park, plus 8%. It was actually plus 7% earlier this morning. They think the total should be at 9, right? More closer to 8.5. But it has the Padres doing a lot of the damage. That's all I care about. But again, it hasn't refreshed since Yu Darvish was announced. So the next game is Giants-Blue Jays. We got Ryan Walker. Will more than likely, I mean, not more than likely, it is a bullpen game for the Giants, but they have a lot of guys rested. Jacob Junis, I assume, will follow. And then they got a slew of bullpen arms. And the bullpen arms have been good. And then you have Gausman, right? But they think this is priced appropriately. No real value on either side, right? Mono's not going to show value on every game, every day. They don't mind the Blue Jays through the first 5, but I am not messing against the Giants bullpen game with the way that their bullpen has been performing lately. This is an absolute no bet for me on either side. Let's talk Brewers-Mets. So showing a little bit of value on the Brewers. I was trying to tuck myself into the Brewers today. Couldn't get around to it. I mean, in what world should David Peterson be a minus 145 favorite? Are they making the line so outrageous that it's just actually you just bet the Brewers and you say, Mets, I dare you to beat me? Could be that. But Julio Teheran has been literally too good up to this point. And Peterson, I know he's been horrible, but the Brewers are also horrible against lefties. And a lot of Peterson's peripherals are pointing to more success down the line. So not really something that I'm interested in playing. But what I will say is the model is showing a little bit of value on the Brewers. Let's talk about this game. And then again, you guys, we got people coming in queue now. So this will be the last game we talk about. The Red Sox are going to be a very popular pick on stream. And I'm going to say this now, and I'm going to say it to them too, and I want to hear what they have to say, and I'm interested in what you guys think. I think right now what we're doing here, if we're betting on the Red Sox, is we are buying, or we're actually selling the Sandy Alcantara at his lowest, right? He's got a 5.08 ERA. If this was the Marlins with a good Sandy against the Red Sox, the Marlins would be minus 145. I really believe that. So you could go with the Red Sox. They might win, but I had a very similar feeling. Dodgers-Angels was a big pick on stream. Everyone was on the Angels after the Dodgers were really struggling. And I said, I feel like we're buying stock at too high a price. In no way should I think the Red Sox should be favored in this game. Maybe other people see that as like, yeah, the Red Sox, the books are putting the Red Sox at minus 130, right? They're going to win this game. And I would totally be able to hear that. And it's not like I'm betting on the Marlins. I'm just kind of telling you, when I looked at this game initially, were my initial thoughts. I said, the Red Sox are minus 130. What am I going to do? Am I going to lay juice against Sandy when he's been at his worst? He could just continue. Tough game for me. We got people in queue.
Really quick, you want to shout out Henry real quick, just because intern Henry?
Shout out to intern Henry. He's coming up with all these ideas for us.
We haven't even talked about him yet. He's just the man.
Shout out Henry. I see you, Henry. I know you're grinding. Shout out intern Henry. Can I get some W Henrys in the chat? Coming up with the tier system, helping us track everything on Pikkit. He's been doing the best job for us. Shout out Henry. All right, let's welcome on to Jed. How are you, my friend? Number 3 on the leaderboard. It's good to see you.
Yeah, it's tight up there, huh?
It's tight. We got you, Javon, Jake, and I within a unit of each other.
That's right. That's right. Like to see it. That can change any minute, though. I think that I submit 3 picks today. I always forget. I apologize.
You submitted. Well, we voided the Padres first 5 for you. I assume that's what you probably wanted. Now,
yeah, that's what I was going to ask you.
Yeah,
I was going to ask you if I'm okay. So I'm down to 2. So no more Padres first 5.
Yeah. Did you consider taking Padres team total, or you're out?
Yeah. No, I actually went to see if it voided in FanDuel. I was just going to take the Padres first 5 team total over.
Okay. Well, there you go. Let's go back to your first play. What do we got, producer Cohen? We got Boston first 5 money line right off the bat.
Am I on the first 5, or am I on the first 5, or am I on the full game? Shit.
What did you?
I don't know, man. I'm all over the place today.
Well,
I apologize.
we'll change it for you. What did you want? Because it's before the game time. So I think you wrote down first 5.
I did first 5. Keep me in on the first 5.
Okay.
But you know what, Pete? I got to be honest. I heard what you were saying, and you're so right. I feel like we are selling Sandy stock at its lowest, and I am very concerned about that. I was right down the middle on this one when I looked at the line. It's definitely one that stood out to me, but as a Rays fan, most of my energy, attention, and focus was on Taj Bradley only being plus 105 on the road to open up. But anyways, I listened to Javon.
Taj is a beast. I love him.
Yeah, Zach Gallen's really good at home. Be careful. But I would say I kind of leaned on the other baseball brains in here, and like you said, the Red Sox are going to be a pretty trendy pick. But my concern was Sandy's been so bad, so I thought that's all we were going to hear today. Sandy's so bad. Sandy's so bad. But after my stream, and after kind of attention a little bit, people are saying it does seem like you still have some people kind of holding out hope that Sandy gets right. And the Red Sox have been pretty bad. So they've lost 4 of their last 5, and the bats and the offense has not been very good. So at the end of the day, I kind of took myself back to last season, and I remember there were times during the second half of the season. I know we're not quite there yet, but there were a lot of times where I saw a play that I really liked, where my whether they were contrarian friends or square friends, it didn't really matter. But when the guys that I like and I trust as baseball bettors were on one side, and I elected to play it safe, and they were all having fun at the party, and I was the designated driver, which I'm happy to do in certain situations, I said, fuck that. Let me get involved. So I do want to dabble with the Red Sox, and I don't know enough about either of these bullpens, but I am going to just go with the first 5. I'm going to continue to fade Sandy because I heard someone say something that I totally agree with. Sandy might get right, but getting right in Fenway is a really bad spot to do it. I think that makes sense. Again, the contrarian in me does want to go against what makes sense, but I'm going to say, fuck that. It's baseball. And you know what? Garrett Whitlock, I'm really not a big Garrett Whitlock hater, and I'm okay with the fact that the Red Sox are not a trendy team. And Garrett Whitlock's not a trendy pitcher. I mean, look, he's got better numbers than Sandy does, right? Obviously.
That's why I don't mind the Red Sox today. Like, I like Garrett Whitlock. I think he's getting better and better with each start. And like, it could be a low scoring game, could be a high scoring game. When I looked at the line, I said, holy shit, Sandy has fallen. Like, they are just pricing it at like, Sandy is a 5.08 ERA guy. I'm like, he's not. Like, come on. This guy won the Cy Young last year. So I couldn't bring myself to bet on the Red Sox, even though I think I recognize it as like sharp, square. I don't know. Bets hit, bets don't. Like, I think I recognize it as like, I know a lot of smart people are going to be on that. They see that sketchy line and they're going to be there. I was like, damn, like this game, if Sandy was even a 3.5 ERA Sandy guy, Marlins would be minus 145. I think.
Yeah. Yeah, no, you're right. And listen, I got no problem with anybody. That's what I thought about doing. So I have no issue with anybody like yourself just sitting this one out. Yeah. I am going to get involved. There are just a few things that I do like enough. I like the line move. I also like this trend that Josh Applebaum had pointed out. I don't know if you're familiar as a VSiN guy, but it's a big trend, dude. And I don't necessarily just lean into trends, but trends work in baseball. Both teams that have the day off take the favorite. This system is hitting near 65%, and dating back to last season, it's a very good system. So both teams did have the day off. Red Sox don't seem to be a very trendy team. The Marlins are the better team, in my opinion. Little line move to the Red Sox. There's enough there for me to get involved. So you heard it's going to be a trendy pick. I don't want to. I know people have heard it all day, and I know it's a squad ride, so I don't want to abuse it too much. But I want to get to the next play. So I guess just to confirm, the Padres' first 5 is going to void because it's a new pitcher.
Yeah, it's like you never even click the button.
And that's okay. Yeah, FanDuel doesn't void it, so I do have skin in the game. But if anybody's listening, I think the Padres bats get going in this game. So I like the first 5 team total over. I believe you're on the full game team total.
Yeah, I just took it all. I want them all.
Love it. I'm on Tatis and Manny Machado bases. I think we get a leadoff nuke from Tatis. So
what could go wrong?
Yes. Any nerfies you think, by the way, by this jumpy guy? I am telling you, there might be a trend to take the nerfie that Chelly loses the following day. So I'm going to keep my eyes on the nerfie with Kopech and Ohtani. Last play for me, and then I'll get out of here.
Shout out Chelly.
Shout out Chelly. It is the over, and good luck on your nerfies. It is the over for me in Queens. So I'm going to the Mets and I'm going to the Brewers. The total's at 9. I believe it was minus. Was it 115 that I got it in at? Let's see what producer Cohen's. Yep. Okay. I'll take that because I believe it was minus 120 or minus 122. I hope I don't see that juice flip as the game gets started. But somebody said the line's moving towards the Marlins. Great. But Peter, I've said this multiple times. I'm going to keep repeating myself. It's something that I've started to lean into last season that was working. I see no reason to jump off because it's been treating me well. Like
shout out you, dude. Whenever you do this, they have been, I honestly, I'm going to ask Henry to go back and track these plays. When you do these totals, you have been phenomenal at these.
It's been good. It's been good. And listen, I've had my rut in May, but when I was coming out of the gate this season, I think you remember the totals for me. I think I started the season like 17-2-1 or something on totals.
Incredible.
This is something that I keep an eye on. So the first game of this series, people weren't familiar with Verlander last night, and I think it was Colin Ray. It was 8 to 8.5. It was a pretty sharp over, and it was something that I thought about getting involved on, but I did not. And so now game 2, we've got it at 9 with the over juiced. Oh, sorry, game 1 soared under. So 2-1 final. I think it was like a sac fly that got the Mets run, and then a 2-run homer for the Brewers. So it really wasn't a lot of offense. Now we've got a 9 total, which is high, and you don't see a lot of over in Queens, at least that I'm not familiar with. The Mets aren't necessarily a great over team. We know they're absolute dog shit this season. I think they've got like the 2nd worst record in baseball in the last like 20 games, or the 3rd worst behind the A's and the Royals. So I don't think anybody necessarily is confident in their bats. And also on the other side, with the Brewers, you've got Tehran going, who I know everybody's expecting regression. But what is he? 2-2 with a 1.53 ERA. I mean, he's good. Now, the only way that this high total does make sense is because it's David Peterson, and he is not good. So he's 1-6 with an 8 ERA. So I totally get that if somebody wants to counter my reasoning and say Peterson for the over correlates and makes sense because he's a terrible pitcher. Totally fine with me. But again, in baseball, we are seeing things make sense often, especially in summer. So I'm not going to let that spook me off. 2nd game of the series. After the Sharps got burned on the over, I'm going to go back to it. I think the read's there, and that's why I'm playing it. Personally, 2 units, but on the contest, I'm going to go 1 unit.
Good stuff. And I like how you're playing it like, a lot of people are coming on stream. The stream has gone crazy. Everyone's throwing 3 units on everything, trying to bomb shit. I want to see some slips with some 3 units in it. And you're the one being like, I put 2 units on it, but I'm doing 1 unit for the context. I like it.
I did. I'm gonna keep it slow and steady. I'm gonna keep it slow and steady because you know what I like. There's a lot of season left. I won't just
so
be in
much
the hunt.
season.
You know what I mean?
So much season.
What's that movie, Pete? The Hunt for Red October. That's what I want. The Hunt for. I want to be in the hunt. You ever heard of that?
I haven't heard of that. The Hunt for Red October, is that a thing?
Producer Cohen, get on.
Producer Cohen, get on camera. Have you heard of that? He's our movie guy. He's a big movie guy.
As long as
All-Star break's coming up.
Pete doesn't watch movies. I just wanted to say that's it.
I've seen some movies.
He just watches baseball and Field of Dreams.
Yeah, I was gonna say Field of Dreams and like that one with like the Red Sox movie when he's like wipes his ass with the Yankee. What's
4 Days in October.
No, that's the whatever. Chat's got us for that. We're good.
All right, Pete. When the All-Star break happens and there's a night off of baseball, watch Office Space. All right, that's it. I'm out of here. Good luck today. Thanks as always.
I saw Avatar.
I saw
Fever
Avatar.
Pitch. Thank you, Wellesley Boy. You guys, you're sick. That's what we're talking about. Fever.
Later, Jet. We'll talk to you.
All right, see you, man. Good luck.
You too. Okay, we got Lid Lager. Are we Lid Lager for sure? Not mid major anymore. We cut it out the mid.
I mean, I have played 5 plays my last 2 times on stream. I have lost $0 and I have won $0. So, I mean, if I'm not the definition of a bad to mid gambler, I don't know what is.
Hey, if you got a couple days of just pushing, you got some free entertainment.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't stressful. I mean, it wasn't stress-free, but it didn't cost me anything, I'll tell you that.
I've heard some morons say, "Oh, I'd rather lose than push." Morons, you'd rather lose than push? That's degeneracy at its finest. I mean, that's moronic. It's straight like, what are we doing here?
I got you. No, I get it. Yeah. But I mean, yesterday I lost the fucking Mets. If you told me the Brewers scored 2, I still take them 1.5 all day long. It is what it is. Their offense looks awful. What else did I have? Oh, the Nats fucking no hit. Castillo could suck my dick. That guy, again, he allowed a home run. He's allowing home runs all fucking year this year for some reason. He just cannot whiff the bats. But it is what it is. Hit my prize picks. Spencer Strider, 100 pitches thrown. I loved it. He went 7 innings strong. He went over everything. I loved him. And then Dylan Cease got 10 Ks, I think. Absolutely demolished our Angels lineup. So looked fantastic there. Moving forward, side note, I think the Angels lineup is just so bad right now. I mean, picking up Mike Moustakas, bringing up David Fletcher we're in shambles. Andrew fucking Velasquez may have the worst at-bats you can ever find in your life.
Oh, I know. He was a Yankee for a while, and I was like, and it was the Bronx kid. I was like, he can't hit. Like, I live in New York too. Would it be cool if I was on the team?
You know every baseball pitch that has ever been pitched and every at-bat ever. Go into the annals of baseball history, or the annals, I'm sorry. You will be hard pressed to find a worse at bat than the career of Andrew Velasquez. Guy's dog shit.
You know who puts up just horrific at bats lately? Carlos Correa puts up some horrific at bats lately.
But obviously tangents, but I think you're old enough to remember Bartolo Colon, his at bats. Did you ever watch those?
Yeah, more competitive than Andrew Velasquez.
Dude, more fucking competitive than most of the people we're talking about right now. But that guy, I miss Bartolo Colon, big sexy. Anyways, back into the play. Speaking about 3-unit bombs, I'm upset at the stream for not letting me nuke this fucking play. I will send you my slip if you want, because I
believe you. I totally believe that you nuked it, but for this stream, 3 units is the max you could risk. We also don't want to be throwing people out there being like, hey, put 78 units. Like, if we just had a full, like, you could bet whatever you want. Crabs, at the end of the stream, if people are losing, people would put 700 units on.
Of course, it makes complete sense. And I'm just giving you shit. For anyone watching, if you've been fading me, you've been making great business decision. A good business decision today would either just not listen to this part of the segment, or fast forward or mute it, or just fade it. I am putting 3 units on the Toronto Blue Jays money line. I got it at 170. It's not minus 195, Peter.
Okay.
WCLV, I will say that.
WCLV.
But I will say just baseball brand, Peter. Right now, would you pay minus 170 against the Giants for anybody,
Absolutely.
as well as they're playing. Okay,
Absolutely.
good. I like that. With that, though, we also have, obviously, we have a stud pitcher in Kevin Gausman. He's been pitching pretty well this month. He's, I think, a 3.5 ERA or so. But if you look on basic fan graphs, if you look at right-handed, the stats versus right-handed pitchers away, the Giants are almost top 5 in every category. Looking into that, they played at Coors, at the dog shit Dodgers when they were performing awfully in the bullpen, when they had like the highest xFIP in the for the month, and also the Cardinals. Cardinals are fucking awful. That doesn't mean anything to me. Those two pitching staffs in the Cardinals and the Coors mean nothing to me, and they just happened to blow up the Dodgers when they weren't playing well. I don't put much into that. But with that basic stat, a +1.5 at -120 for the Giants looks really fucking good against Gausman, who has not performed all that well this year. Baseball reason though for my Blue Jays play. Obviously, Kevin Gausman was a top 6 Cy Young pitcher for the Giants.
Oh,
he's record.
Fantastic.
He set the record for wins as a Giants pitcher in 2021, and they let him go. He said he wanted to stay with the Giants, and they were not competitive in their in his contract negotiations. He was pissed. This is the first time he's facing them since. And the reason why I like it also even more is the Giants have not faced a lot of splitters in the past 2 seasons at all. There's not much information at all. And right now, I would say Kevin Gausman has one of the best splitters in baseball. With that, the entire month of June, he's come off of 4 days rest. So he's been pretty tired. Tonight, he's coming off of 5. He's fucking ready. That splitter, that velocity, that drop in the splitter is going to be fantastic today, in my opinion. He is going to deal. Looking at the Jays pitching staff, obviously they have their rotation, their injuries. Manoah is his start today in high school. The high school game he pitched was awful. And the injuries to Meza and Simber they're pretty depleted in the bullpen. So I think if there was going to be a no-hitter this year, this was the first legit chance in Kevin Gausman.
Good stuff. I just think
it was a high school game. What do you mean to say? It's a high school game, Peter.
Like the junior varsity field where they don't even have grass on the infield. It's like a softball field that like the JV team has to play on. And like Alec Manoah's out there just giving up 11 earned.
And 2.2. Not 9 fucking outs. 1 time through the rotation. God damn, Peter. Anyways, W. Javon, by the way, again, keep spewing that for calling that the start of the season.
Yes, absolute W. Oh my! I mean, but I don't think like the thing is, because I made a video about it on our TikTok, and I was like, did he forget a pitch? And I went through all the stuff, and people were like, well, he had a 4 xFIP, like he was bound to regress. I'm like, you thought he'd be giving up 11 earned in the Florida Complex League? Like, not even the biggest hater in the world could have predicted this.
No, I mean that guy's. Anyways, sorry to see him go. He got his bag and he dipped. Whatever.
No, Alec didn't get his bag.
Did he not?
Anything. I don't think he signed anything.
He's making more than me, Peter. That's all I know.
Well, yeah, he's making way more than me. He's making way more than all of us. Yeah.
Yeah. And we're gambling on this fat ass, so it tells you how smart we are. Anyways, I think the Blue Jays absolutely just deal. They have Ryan Walker on the mound for the Giants, he's a good bullpen arm. After him, it's either Alex Wood, Sean Manaea, or fucking Jacob Junis. Mm-hmm. I would easily pay more than -250 for Gausman versus any of those 3 starting pitchers. Yeah. I think that's an overlooked fact in this game that people aren't realizing what's coming after Walker. It's not a great look for the Giants today, in my opinion.
No, I could see that. No, I feel that. Little bit scary, but
yeah, of course.
Hey, put your money where your mouth is, and that's what Major's doing. And I know he's got even more in his slip on the Blue Jays. So let's rock,
this is why we gamble, right? No one knows the future, but this is for all the favorites today. I don't hear a lot of Blue Jays love, which I like because people are scared of the Giants, which makes me like them. The way my brain works, people like the Giants as a dog. How well they've been playing, how well they've been hitting on the road versus right-handed pitching. That makes me like the Blue Jays even more because everyone's ignoring Gausman today.
No, I couldn't agree with you more. I haven't heard a sniff of Blue Jays talk today. Let's get to play number 2.
It's correlated. It's the total team under. I think honestly he deals today. I know. Fucking do that all you want. I have money on it.
It's shocking.
I know.
Is it not?
It is what it is.
Hey, get after it.
But it's the same thing. It's the same reason I missed a couple of my money line plays this year, or the +1.5s. Is I'm expecting pitchers to do well, which I absolutely expect Gausman to do. But I don't know. I mean, is the Blue Jays lineup gonna hit? I think they are. But what I feel in my plums and what I have my money on is that Gausman will pitch phenomenally, and Swanson and Romano come in and shut the door. to get a win for Kevin Gausman. That's what
Hell
I feel more so than anything in this game. So I'm willing to risk it. Willing to risk it.
I'm fired up for you. I love
Yeah,
it, my
brother.
friend. Good stuff.
Price
more
Pick
plays?
Square. Price
Let's
Pick
hear
Square.
it.
It's
Let's hear
hitting.
it.
Gausman over 37.5 fantasy score.
Okay.
His games got bumped up. His pitching outs are now juiced. They were juiced heavy to the under at 18.5. It's a little less juice now. I think he absolutely deals, brother. I really do. I think it's a quality start. I think he gets a win. I think he gets at least minimum 7 Ks. It's an easy fantasy score for me, honestly. And I think he goes 7 innings. I don't think he goes 6.
Gausman 737 fantasy score from Lid Lager.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I mean, I just got to tell this just because I want to be along for the ride with you.
I mean, I get motion sickness, so the rides that I go on, you don't really want to be a part of. But it'll be a sweat, brother, and I have my money on it. If you're listening, tell me to go fuck off. I don't take any offense to it. I'm a bad gambler, but I have my money on the Blue Jays today. And Kevin Gausman.
Get after it, my friend. Appreciate
brother.
you coming on. All right.
Thanks,
Talk
guys.
to you. All right. Who's up next, though? Tomas is supposed to be coming on soon. Haven't seen Tomas in a little bit. All in on the Jays from Lid Lager. Colby, if you're listening and you want to hop on, feel free. We got so many picks coming on today. Did I miss the Padres stuff with Darvish being scratched now? I mean, I personally just took Padres team total over. So Darvish being in, right, has no effect on the Padres bats. I mean, I weirdly like it more now that, Padres bats are probably going to have to keep up with Pirates bats. Might not matter, might not hit, might still hit. But again, just before the game starts, it has no effect on Darvish at all. Line is moving towards the Marlins. It's not ideal. Yeah, but Sandy isn't good, Sandy. Yeah. Is Callie joining? No. Is Callie Wager? No, he's not here today. When does he get to change his name back? He did that by himself. Some books are weird with team totals. If you bet it last night, you might have to rebet the Padres team total because both pitchers much pitch for action. I think, let me make sure. I think I'm still ready and going in this. Tomas is here. Let's bring him up. We'll check that later. Tomas, it's been a while. How are you?
You miss me, or what's up, Peter? How's it going?
I miss you. Of course I missed you. I missed the we're gonna go 3-0 today.
Well, I'm back for a reason here, and I got a max play. So I was like, well, if I'm throwing it out there, there's no reason I'm not coming on stream for it.
Let's fucking go, baby.
Let's go.
Let's
All
bring
right.
it up first. What are we on?
We're bringing it up first. Yeah, Brewers first 5 money line plus money. If you guys been watching the streamer, I know you remember, Peter, but I've only had this is my second max play. The first one I had was quite ironically fading the Mets through the first 5, but it was with the Cleveland Guardians, and they were also a plus money play. I love it. I've been waiting since last week when the Mets announced that Peterson was going to get called up to start this game. And that is 110% the reason that I'm playing this. New York, they're just, I feel bad for the Mets. And producer Cohen, this one's for you, but I'm a Mets guy. Like, I like the Mets. I grew up as like a sneaky Mets fan because my uncle was a Mets fan. So I liked watching New York. I've watched the last couple of games, and they're poverty right now. It's bad. It's bad what's happening in New York. Yeah. But they call up Peterson because they got no one else to pitch. They have no one else to pitch. That's why they're calling him up. And in AAA, what do you do in AAA? Posted a 4.86 ERA.
Hold on. Producer Coach just nodding his head.
It's so everything you're saying is true. It's sad.
I've watched the last 3 Mets games just because I'm like, let's watch the Mets. And I go, I can't believe it. I'm seeing it with my own eyes. But Peterson just hasn't looked good. He hasn't looked good in AAA. He's gone through 6 starts, 4.86 ERA. Nothing has improved. He hasn't gotten any better than where he was at in the major leagues. Also, too, his last time out was last Wednesday. So he gave up 3 runs last Wednesday. He's pitching today, so he has an extra day of quote-unquote rest. But the way I see him, like, I don't really care. You know what I mean? He's got to come back to the big leagues. He knows that the Mets need a good start out of him because their bullpen is taxed. And I just don't like it. He hasn't had success this season. He's allowed 6, 4, 4, 7, and 6 earned runs in his last 5 starts. That's 24 1/3 innings pitched. And for against the Brewers in his career. He's 0-1. He's made 3 appearances, 2 starts with a 10.38 ERA. And last time was he played Milwaukee on April 5th, allowed 5 runs on 5 hits, 5 walks, 5 strikeouts in 4 innings in a no decision at Milwaukee. The Brewers are hot right now. They are. They're 6-2 in their last 8 games against a team with a losing record. And this is just a fun stat that I found today. The Mets are 6-21 in their last 27 Tuesday games. Today's Tuesday. So I'm liking the Brewers today. I'm all in. Let's go.
I'm just curious, why not? Like, I didn't hear anything about Julio Teheran. Like, is it because I know that he doesn't have great numbers against the Mets? Why not just Brewers team total?
One, because I can't play the Brewers team total for a full game. I would do it first 5 if that makes sense. Plus 2, I didn't like the number that I was getting. I think it was like 3.5. I don't know. I didn't remember. But the way that I see it, and the way I watched the game yesterday, the Brewers Mets game, the Brewers bats are going to come out hot. I mean, Justin Verlander, he threw 100 pitches through 5 innings, and he's their should be top of the line ace guy, but he struggled at getting guys out. And another thing too, I haven't noticed with this Mets pitching staff is they're just not good in 0-2 counts. I mean, there's so many times where they get 2 strikes on here, and I see so many 2-strike hits. And I don't trust Peterson to have that put away stuff to get this guy out. I think Teheran is going to pitch. That's the thing with Teheran, and like the reason why I'm not really saying much about him is because I just think the Brewers are going to kill the Mets today. Like, I just think that's the way it's coming out. And I think Teheran, I think he's going to give up a couple runs because, like you said, he hasn't fared well against the Mets. But the way that I see, he's pitched well. I have no reason to doubt him. I've doubted him like 2-3 other times this past couple outings, saying, how much longer is Julio Teheran going to keep this up? And he's pitching really well. He is. Yeah. And I think there's a huge factor saying this guy was in the Atlantic League, Independent League, pitching in Mexico. He was done with the major leagues. And, there's those stories of these guys getting those opportunities again, and they come out and pitch really well. And I just like him. I like him in the spot today. Give me the Brewers.
And a lot of people are saying that Teheran is due for regression, but he's made real changes, right? He started throwing this cutter, and the Brewers, they know a thing or two about the cutter. Ergo, Corbin Burns. And Teheran, I think he's throwing his cutter around 28% this year, and it's been very good. He's doing cutter, sinker. He's a different pitcher than he used to be, right? He's not that flat 4-seamer anymore. So he might have just found something, and he might just be good. Yeah. But really what you're doing is just fading David Peterson.
And also, too, not even like just going back to Teheran, too. Like, I think about of him coming back in, and I kind of put the stuff in the past in the sense like I know the Mets have hit him around, but that regression start you've talked about, I've been waiting for it for like the last 3 starts. I think after his first start, everyone's like, "Yep, I'm fading Julio Teheran next time." What do? He shoved again. Also, too, I don't know if I bet producer Cohen saw this, but on Twitter, Steve Cohen, the owner of the Mets, was like, "Hey, I'm going to have a press conference before the game tomorrow." Not today's game, tomorrow's game. And he just tweeted out. He goes, "I want to address the rumors, or I want to address it coming from me." Come on. You're telling me the Mets aren't going to have that kind of looming over the back of their head today? I mean, that's just not something I think you tweet out. When I saw that, I said, I love the Brewers even more today. You get the owner of the team tweeting out saying he's going to have a press conference for tomorrow's game to address whatever. He didn't say what he's addressing, but he's going to address everybody. So I don't like that as well either. I think about a lot of different factors, and let's go Brewers, man. I'm in with Milwaukee today.
Good stuff. And I know that producer Cohen is confident in your play because I see him just so bad.
I mean, it's great. I was going to say yesterday when everyone was taking the Mets, like, oh yeah, like Verlander's due for like some bullshit. Like you should have seen the picture that they like put up of him on Twitter. Like he's going to be fine. No, but like we just didn't want to hit that day also. So like, why would we hit today? Like we don't
That's
care.
Where I'm at. The
Let's
Mets
keep Vogie in the lineup, right?
They're just not. They're not in a good spot. No matter. It's almost like there's no. It's kind of funny to bring this up, but I know everyone's seen like the Frank the Tank stuff on Barstool when the Mets lose. But like he's not wrong. Like these guys don't show like they don't have no heart. There's no passion. I mean, they don't play good baseball right now, and I don't know what's going on over there. I think this is just me, but Buck's got to go. Buck's got to go. That's my thought process. But we saw what the Phillies did last year when they let go of Girardi. Just saying.
Pick number 2.
Number 2, taking the O's on the money line today.
We got Braves first. Oh, yeah, we'll just go Orioles.
Yeah, we'll go Orioles. Orioles money line. This is a couple of systems for me. Interleague favorites off a win, 66%. AL East favorites versus non-AL East teams hitting at 70%.
Wow.
Orioles 27-7 as a favorite. They hit lefties really well, and they're 17-9 against them and 25-14 at home. I know Abbott has, pitched pretty well his first couple of times out, but come on. It's the Orioles. They're at home. They're one of my favorite teams to bet on, truthfully. I love me the Reds as well, but if you're giving me the Orioles at what? The thing is, too bad I saw this over. The tickets were split. It was pretty much a 50-50 split when I locked this in, but yet the line was shifting towards the Orioles' favor. So I'm saying, a little bit more of that bigger money's coming in on the O's. I like them in this spot as well. Also, too, the Reds, I think their bullpen is still taxed. They're going to have some guys be able to come back because they just gave up yesterday. But I don't like that they didn't get a good start out of Williamson. They got no longevity. They were just throwing guys out there. So give me the O's. I like the Orioles. If they get the lead, I don't trust. I believe in that bullpen to shut it down. And the Orioles, they're a comeback team. I just like the O's always.
So right now in BetMGM, you got a little bit of line movement on your side. Would you play up to minus 150?
I'd play to 150. I have it at 136. Just knowing myself, I would be like, all right, cool. I'm going to put 1.5 to win 1 unit. But I still like the Orioles. They're a very good team. It matches my systems. Let's rock.
Play number 3.
Give me the Braves. Braves on the money line. They opened at minus 140, went to minus 150. Also, too, 66%. Same system. Interleague favorites off a win, 66%. But I do like Joe Ryan. But when I look at this lineup, the Braves are batting 271 as a team, Twins 232. They're 44-23 as a favorite, 25-15 at home. The Twins are 9-19 as a dog. And this is kind of a cool stat that I found today. When Atlanta has played a team that missed the playoffs last year, they're 33-11. And they're also 11-4 when Bryce Elder starts. And Ryan does have a worse ERA on the road. Not going to overthink it. Give me the Braves.
I got nothing for you in terms of I don't think I might not like this. Good stuff.
Last one, Guardians money line. This is one of my systems I've liked to do as well. When both teams have had the day off, just take the favorite. 64%. Also, too, this is such a cheap price to fade one of the worst teams in baseball. And I might be the sucker to get on it, but I'm going to get on it. I think the Rays, they had a little skid this past weekend going against the Royals, but I'm not going to buy in that Kansas City's playing good ball right now. I think the Rays just slipped up a little bit. Give me Cleveland here. They're just a better team. Also, too, the Royals are 16-39 against righties, and they're 10-38 at home. They're just bad, and I'm gonna fade them here. Give me the Guardians. I also like Jose Ramirez today. I think he might have himself a day. It's not my prize pick, and I know we got the community stream today, but
what do you like?
This one's gonna be. I got Randall Grichuk over 1.5 bases. He's going against Clayton Kershaw. I don't like Kershaw in this matchup, but Grichuk has had success in the past against Kershaw. His batting average is the highest it's been in his whole career. His power numbers are down, but he's hitting a lot of extra base hits. He's finally getting comfortable. I like Randall Grichuk.
I'm just looking it up. Let me make sure it's still up there. Yeah, Grichuk. Perfect. Great, my man. Well, we got another leg in the entry.
There we go.
Keep killing it, my friend. All right, we'll talk to you soon.
See you later, Peter.
Okay. We got Professor Colby. Shout out who? Oh, iPandemic for subbing. What a stud. Colby Olson. Mustache is here. Braves. Mustache is here. Braves cover run line on a Ronald Acuna home run. Never shave.
Dude, that felt so good. And in my head, I was like, oh my God, it's Emilio Pagan. He's going to hang a splitter. And what does he do? He hangs a splitter.
Shocker.
See ya.
Atta baby. 1 for 1. Remember, you're not overextending yourself. You play it when you like it. I want to hear what you got today.
Yeah, for sure. Let's start off with the Red Sox because I texted you this last night and I should have bet it last night, but I didn't. I was like, I'm just going to wake up in the morning, see what the line does. And what does the line do? Well, it was minus 115 last night. It moved all the way to minus 130 this morning when I woke up. And I was like, I knew it in my gut that the Red Sox were going to be favored. So this morning I thought, you know what? Sandy's been giving up a lot of runs early, giving up a lot of contact. He's not getting a lot of strikeouts like usual. The changeup is not performing like it was last year. And I think that the Red Sox can jump out to an early lead here. But the reason I like the Red Sox for the first 5 really is I think Garrett Whitlock can outduel Sandy. I think these offenses are actually somewhat similar. Over the last 30 days, they both have a 98 WRC plus. The Marlins, the Red Sox do. But over the last 14 days, this Miami offense has been cooling off a little bit after that big run they went on. They have a 709 OPS the last 14 days. They are getting Jazz back tonight, but again, it's his first game, so I could actually see that being kind of a detractor from this lineup tonight. And Whitlock has been really good, man. Over his last 5 starts, a 3.6 ERA and a 3.1 FIP. He made one mistake against the Twins last start, but I think that he can fare pretty well today against Miami. So taking the Red Sox for the first 5.
My only concern about this game, and I mentioned it before, and I just kind of want to hear your opinion on it. Don't you feel, though, that you're buying or you're selling Sandy stock at the lowest possible way you can do it? You know what I'm saying? Like, when I saw the Red Sox were favorites, I'm like, how the mighty have fallen. And maybe he is just this bad. It's just, and the stats would back it up, that he deserves what he's getting. It's just so tough for me. But it's not like I'm on the Marlins. That came into my head when I looked at the game.
Yeah, I mean, I guess my follow-up question would be, what have you seen from Sandy that makes you believe that he's going to bounce back anytime soon,
Nothing.
right? Like, his one good start over the last 5 was against the White Sox. One good start against the White Sox. And he hasn't been striking guys out 5.5 per 9 over his last 6 starts. I mean, I don't know. I just feel like Sandy might get it together this year. I just don't think it's now. Hopefully the All-Star break can kind of give him a mental break. I know Arm has talked about the catching situation there too, being somewhat of a problem. And I think that could definitely be a factor in it. It is hard to believe that Sandy is performing as bad as he is right now. He's not giving up home runs. He's only given up 3 home runs over his last 6 starts, but he's just letting up so much contact that it's just natural that's going to happen.
Yeah. No, I'm not on Marlins. That was my thoughts, but I thought you answered the question well. I don't have anything to tell you why I think Sandy's going to bounce back. I talked about on the Just Baseball show. I'm like, if I had to rank some of these guys and like who I'm most concerned about, like he's near the top. This is bad.
Yep. And it's funny because Javon tweeted at me 2 days ago and said, it feels like a good week for Colby to lay a 3-unit bomb on the Red Sox. And I responded to him. I said, Sandy versus Whitlock on Tuesday night. I only have 1 unit on it, but it is a good spot, I think, for the Red Sox to catch a dub here, especially after such a disappointing series against the White Sox.
Good stuff. Pick number 2.
Pick number 2. I'm on the Astros, -120. This is a war on one of my favorite pitchers in baseball. I don't know why I've always loved Jordan Montgomery, but he's just one of the most consistent pitchers in baseball. But he has a really bad matchup tonight against an Astros offense that's actually been crushing lefties, Pete. They have a 125 WRC plus against lefties the last 30 days. And this lineup is loaded with right-handed bats. Only Kyle Tucker in the lineup is the lefty tonight. So yeah, I think they're going to jump all over Jaymont, who has been fine. Like Jaymont is the forever 3.3, 3.4 ERA guy. But you will have blow-up starts where you give up 3 or 4 earned. I think tonight the Astros can get to Jaymont. But then on the other side, you have Framber going, who has been just dominant so far this year. Once again, I know that if you look at xERA, you see a 3.71 xERA. But to me, I'm not that concerned with that because this is a guy that lets up a ton of contact on the ground. And Sierra, FIP, xFIP are all on Framber's side as well. Also, what do you think the Cardinals WRC plus against lefties is the last 30 days, Pete?
66.
61. 61. So you think this offense is going to get to Framber tonight? I really do not think so. My prize picks entry is also as well. I'm taking Jordan Montgomery less than 27.5 fantasy score. 1, I don't think the Cardinals win. 2, he's gone over this in 4 straight. And by go over, he's like gone way over it. And they're hanging at 27.5. That's super low. Again, I think the Astros get to Jaymont here.
Awesome. Good stuff. So just those two?
No, I got one
more. Okay, perfect. Let's hear it.
Yep, I'm on this Rays and Arizona under 8.5.
Okay.
So Rays D-backs under 8.5. Taj Bradley going up against Zach Gallen, and Taj has a 4.01 ERA over his last 7 starts since returning from the minors. Remember, he went down, came back up, but he actually has a 2.73 FIP in that time as well. So I think there's some regression for Taj coming here. And yes, this Arizona offense is definitely a good offense, man. Like, this lineup is pretty dang good if you look at it, and they are better split as against righties, but they've actually been a worse offense at home. They have a 116 WRC plus on the road over the last 2 months, but a 109 WRC plus at home. So I think that is a good spot for Taj to dominate. But dude, this Tampa Bay Rays offense over the last month has actually been pretty pathetic. Wander Franco has a 99 WRC plus the last 30 days. Josh Lowe has a 58 WRC plus. Taylor Walls has a 42 WRC plus. Christian Betancourt has a 14 WRC plus over the last 30 days. Like, yes, you have, other Luke Raley has a 160 WRC plus the last 30 days, but like there's 4 hitters in this lineup that have been really struggling. And it's Zach Gallen, who might be due for some regression at some point. I just don't think it's tonight.
Was there any reason you didn't take first 5 if you like both starters so much? Or I'm just curious.
Both Pens coming off an off day. I'm just going to trust the full game, to be honest.
For sure. Yeah, I got nothing against it. I was just, you're talking about the starting pitchers. I always like to ask for, are people listening like, oh, I really like it, but he loves the starters. Like, why not I just take the first half? But if you like full game because you like rested bullpens in this matchup, what am I going to
do? That's pretty much it. I'm not going to go into, oh my God, this bullpen has a 3.67 FIP over the last 14 days. Just like, they're rested. I'll trust that they're using their best guys tonight.
Good stuff. Love it, my man.
Yep.
All right. 3 plays, 3 winners, and Jordan Montgomery. Was there any other squares that you were looking at? I know that's your favorite. I'm just curious.
You know what I was looking at is sneaky add to my card right now would actually be a sprinkle on the Tigers tonight against Martin Perez.
Yeah.
I know it's Matt Manning, and it's like tough to put your hard-earned money on Matt Manning, but Martin Perez has been getting blown up, and the Tigers have been crushing lefties. And also Martin Perez is not up on Prize Picks. So I saw that immediately, and I'm like, wait, you're telling me Martin Perez isn't up on Prize Picks? All right, Tigers money line it is. But who else was on there?
You're right. He's not up there.
I like targeting these hitter strikeout props. And Matt Vierling is interesting to me. He's facing Martin Perez. He mashes lefties, just a 16% K rate against lefties overall, and Martin Perez doesn't strike anybody out. There was one other hitter strikeout prop I liked. No, I guess that was it. I do like the Matt Vierling hitter strikeout prop. So that was my other one. But Jordan Montgomery's who I'm really attacking.
Good stuff. Hey, love the pitches today. Good luck.
Thank you, man. Yeah, you as well. Let's get a winner.
Talk to you soon. Let's get some winners. Peace out, Cole. All right, we got Anthony DeBundo from the Action Network coming off. You and I were both on that. And then, of course, the White Sox did White Sox things, but you still came away even. And you're just creeping all the way up. And I love talking baseball with you. How are you?
I'm doing well. Yeah, it was a tough split. Thought we should have got both there. Point flip game. Had plus 120. Would bet it again. Cease and Detmers were both really good. Good call on your F5 under there. But yeah, back for another day. Back-to-back days. I think this is the first time all year I've been on back-to-back days. So
we need more back-to-back days. We need every day.
You know what it is? The weather's been so bad in the area in Philly that I've just been home.
It's forcing you to keep you inside and just bet.
Yeah, basically.
I love it, my man. You were on. Did you say that you were on some underdogs? Didn't one of them hit? A big plus money?
Yeah, the Brewers and the Twins I had last night. We got the Brewers in. Joey Weimer, big homer. They deserved to win that. I mean, they were over 11 with runners in scoring position and still won. And then the Twins, Sonny was good, but just Spencer Strider, too good again.
Emilio Pagan.
Did he give up the homer? Was it he the one that? Yeah.
Duh. Like Rocco Baldelli has no idea how to manage his own bullpen. Let's get your first
no pitcher in baseball has cost me more money than Emilio Pagan in the last 2 years.
Literally.
Yeah. But I'm riding the Twins again. So.
You want to get hurt again?
Exactly. Yeah. Look, Bryce Elder's pretty good, and I think everybody, who screams, oh, he's due for negative regression, blah blah blah. Yes, the market knows that too, and they're pricing him as an above-average pitcher, clearly as an above-average starter. But he's getting way too much market respect here. I mean, it was last Thursday that he opened a road favorite in Philly against Aaron Nola, and we saw a ton of market movement against him in that game, and to the point where Philly closed minus 125 at home. Elder threw 7 shutout, and they won in extras. But the Twins now with Joe Ryan on the mound, who I think is a top 8 pitcher in baseball. I've been saying this all year. I have a Cy Young long shot on Ryan. The splitter went through a period where it wasn't as good. He got hit a little harder, but in his last start against Boston, the splitter looked like it was kind of back to the Joe Ryan that we're used to seeing, or we had gotten used to seeing in the last couple of months prior to that. So impressed with Ryan. I just really don't think Elder should be this much of a favorite. You have to keep in mind the Twins did not have Royce Lewis or Byron Buxton in the lineup last night. They're both in the lineup tonight. It's pretty much close to the Twins' best lineup with Kirilloff, Correa, Buxton, Kepler, and Lewis all in there, and Julian, I think, leading off again. So pretty much the best lineup the Twins have. And the same I said yesterday about Atlanta's bullpen is still true now, even though they had a little bit of a lighter day, only needed 2 innings yesterday. Iglesias has not been sharp. He's worked a ton. That's part of the problem with winning all of your games is your closer gets really worked, and he has not been at his sharpest. And really, in general, this entire bullpen has had its issues, or had a lot of usage, so could be worn down tonight. Do expect Duran to get in the game. Twins pretty consistently get him in the game if it's close every X or so days. And he's at the point now where I'd expect to see him tonight too if it's a close game. So the projection with Ryan and Duran, it's pretty sharp for Minnesota's pitching. And I think plus 125, plus 130 is just way too high on Minnesota.
I agreed. I was looking at this one too, and it's just so tough with Elder. So damn tough.
Yep.
Man.
Yeah, I mean, he doesn't give up a lot of homers. That's the one thing that's really gotten me so far.
It's a great price for did you see the total in the game? The total is crazy.
Yeah, 9. It is good hitting weather in Atlanta tonight. Not surprised to see that. But it's also good strikeout weather. And Atlanta is one of the bigger strikeout parks in baseball. Actually, number 1 on the Savant page. So I also
know that.
Some Joe Ryan over 5.5. I don't have Prize Picks. I'm in Pennsylvania. But if I had to make a square, it would be some combination of Joe Ryan over with Tyler Wells over. I like both guys tonight.
Joe Ryan. Which one do you like better? Because we got Joe Ryan at 5.5 Ks, and we have Ryan over Wells.
Yeah, I mean, if I just ran, I'd have to rerun my number with the Reds lineup because they have 5 dudes out of their 9 hitters that project for 25% strikeout rates or higher. That's the Reds. Now the Braves, the thing about them is they're right around league average with strikeouts projections. But Joe Ryan's like 27.5% this year.
Yeah.
Plus the park is good. If he faces like 25 hitters, that's like 6.5. So it's just kind of too low, I think. And so I like the over a lot there with Ryan.
Good stuff. Yeah, has he been going over this a ton? Yeah, Joe Ryan. Not that it's bad or good if he's been going over a lot. I'm just curious what he's been doing. Yeah, I mean, he's hit at 3 of his last 5. He's been at 4. He's been at 7. He's been at 6. He had 9 in his last, and he's going up against the Braves, so it's not like they're going to price him crazy high. No, it's strikeouts.
Who did he go under against? I am curious.
He went under against
Cleveland?
the Guardians and the Blue Jays.
Right, and those are 2 lineups that well, the Cleveland case, they don't strike out much. Toronto swings early.
Very
I don't
aggressive.
believe he pitched well against Toronto. I think he got roughed up in that outing. So, it's certainly, he could give up a bunch of homers. But Atlanta, the way they hunt barrels, they are prone to getting to striking out. So, certainly in the cards.
Good stuff. Play number 2.
All right, play number 2 is the Orioles. Yeah, they've taken some money tonight. I'm not surprised by that. A couple people gave out the Orioles and moved the market on me. I still like them up to minus 150, though. I like Andrew Abbott. I own him in Dynasty. I'm a believer in him long-term, but I am not a believer in the Reds' current pitching situation. I think it's kind of an ongoing effect here. The rain delay killed them last night. They had to use a bunch of guys once Williamson had to come out in the 3rd inning. And they could see there's a chance for some more rain tonight, which could really wreck their bullpen behind Abbott. Abbott's their number 1 right now, which is kind of crazy. But yeah, they called up a guy with a 10 ERA, I think in AAA, or 16
Salazar,
walks
right?
in 18 innings. Yeah. So, they're desperate, and it's not good. The situation is getting bad, and Baltimore has advantages everywhere. Lineup is better for me. Bullpen is better. They're at home, and the starter is better. Wells, I know you mentioned it earlier on your stream, talking about how the models never liked him. They don't catch up. He's even striking guys out this year, 26% K rate. It's pretty good.
He's good.
Yeah, he's just good. And so the market's still short on him. I like Abbott. Like I said, he got some very favorable matchups. He got the Rockies when they threw out a AAA team last week. He got the Brewers, who don't really hit lefties. And so he's had some favorable matchups. The Cardinals, Colby just talked about how they haven't been quite the same against lefties this year. So just across the board, it hasn't quite been really a murderer's row for Abbott, but I think tonight is a more difficult matchup. I'm excited to watch this, though. Two guys that I love to watch pitch in general. But yeah, I like the Orioles. I think they have advantages. And if we get a rain delay, I love the Orioles.
Good stuff. I mean, great pitch. All right, let's go to play number 3.
Yeah, we were texting about this morning.
Yes, we were.
We were, yeah. The wind. I mean, anytime you're picking a game at Wrigley Field, you have to talk about the wind. 10 miles an hour in, 8 to 10. They've lowered it a little bit, which is why I think the market hasn't moved on this total. But if you were to tell me, what's the number one impact of the jet lag, I just think, with London playing kind of like
just so we know, it has moved 15 cents. So I got it at 9 at -125. It's now 8.5. The under is -115.
Okay, so it has moved a little bit. I actually thought it would go to 8.
Me too.
And I think it should be 8. So I'm fine with 8.5, 115. Yeah, it's just that Suarez's command being back is a huge addition. No JT Realmuto for the Phillies tonight does hurt their defense, but also hurts their offense. Stubbs is not really providing much at the plate. So it's a significant downgrade in their lineup. So that's significant. And with the wind blowing the way it is, like the under tonight, Phillies pen is pretty rested. They didn't have to use a lot of their high leverage guys the other day because of how the game played out against the Mets. So they've had a couple days off. And the Cubs jet lag, I think it affects the hitters. Just kind of 1 a.m. body clock. It's hard. It's really hard. I don't think we're really able to properly account. I don't know how you play that necessarily, but it is interesting. And it affects the Cardinals game too. I don't think Montgomery made the trip, so maybe he won't be jet lagged, but the hitters certainly could be impacted tonight.
It's so funny. I looked at because we only have 2 instances of this in London, right? Yankees and Red Sox when they first came back. Yankees were terrible. They put up 2 runs, anemic offense. Game ended 4-2. Red Sox came back, put up 10 runs, won 10-6. So when I was looking at both of these games, I was like, all right, what's actually my favorite under? Because I don't think just fading both of these teams is going to work today. I don't think you just take the Astros and you take the Phillies and you just go home. I was like, all right, what's my actual favorite matchup in this one? And I was like, well, I'm not a big fan of Tyone, but his numbers against the Phillies are actually decent, even accounting for the horrific start he had last time. But it was a lot based on the home runs. It's going to be a lot harder to hit home runs today in Wrigley. Yes. And I was texting you about it because I was like, 9? Am I missing something? We got to bet the under. And you were like, yep, I like 8.5. I got plus 100. I'm like, I'm at -125, 9. I love the key number. Let's roll. And now we're seeing a little bit on sharper books. 8.5 is plus 103. 8.5 to the under is -116. So we might see 8 by game time, which is good.
Yeah, I think we're heading that way. Again, the wind did come down a little bit, but yeah, Tyone pitching in Citizens Bank Park on what I remember was a hot day is in late May is very different from Tyone pitching in Wrigley tonight with very different conditions. Also a little hazy. We got a little air quality problem in Chicago as well. Just when you thought the air quality problems were done, Chicago's got them down. So it will be interesting to see how the environment changes or plays differently tonight.
Fantastic. Is that 3 winners?
I hope so. I'm looking to get in the green. I'm making my move here. I was down. Now I'm coming back, and I'm going to be around for a few weeks. So hopefully I'm going to be able to get on stream more and drop some winners. One note that I think is interesting is that 2 things. No Trout for the Angels tonight. So they win every game he doesn't play. So not that that's predictive, but it is interesting. And no Brian Hayes is big for your bet. I think that's really huge. Best defensive third baseman in the league. The Padres going to be putting a lot of balls in play. So
yeah, I was like, what play am I on?
I'm contemplating joining you. I think it's a huge loss with a soft tosser who wants balls in play to take away the best defensive player in the league. So and then also I wanted to comment because everybody's talked about the Rockies or the Red Sox. I think it's interesting when you look at Sandy. There's two tiny things that I think the market is moving a little bit toward the Marlins. Jazz is back tonight in center. He's actually played an elite center field. That makes a big difference.
Crazy,
especially with the amount of balls in play Sandy's going to allow.
Yeah.
And he's a bat who hits for power. And
but don't you think with coming back from a hurt toe, how agile is he going to be? I don't think he's right back to being that elite center fielder defensively that he's been.
I'm not betting against his speed. That's for sure. I'm not saying he's going to start stealing bags again at the same rate, but certainly like Jazz, generally speaking. And I think that's a big upgrade. And no Yoshida for the Red Sox tonight, which, not that he's adding defensive value, but that's a big loss in the middle of that. That's their second best hitter.
Yeah.
So, it is a significant loss. I don't think he's hurt. I think it's just a day off, but which is weird because they were off yesterday. But either way, interesting nevertheless. And I'm so close to pulling the trigger on Miami, but I don't think I'll get there. I think I'll just pass.
Yeah, for me, it's a complete pass. But Anthony, we got Javon coming on next, who's about to pitch the Red Sox like we've never seen it before. So
I'm going to have to stick around. And
have to stick around. Appreciate you,
Thanks
my friend. We'll talk to you.
See ya.
Okay. The Milkman.
Yep. We're
Red Sox.
Red
All
Sox.
the marbles.
Yeah.
The biggest play on stream that Javon has given us is a 3-unit bomb on the Boston Red Sox. And sent me a slip. I don't know exactly what your unit size is. It's sizable.
It's 5. That's 5 units. A standard
5
5 units, but we can only go 3 here, so it's 3. So yeah, it's the Red Sox today. I do think the line is a little weird to begin with. Even though Sandy hasn't been the Sandy of old, we see the Sandy this year who's been allowing a lot more hard contact. I mean, the main difference, I guess you could say for me in watching him is that changeup, which has been a massive difference. You have, it's terrible. Hitters are hitting last year 154 off of it, this year 310. The Red Sox offense is top 5 in pretty much every offensive metric against changeup. So I think they have a really good matchup, even without Yoshida, he sucked anyway. I'll take a Yoshida in for Verdugo coming back. I'm perfectly fine with that. But yes, you're right in that we were selling Sandy as probably his lowest stock. But for me, it almost has to do as much as to do with that as it does with selling the Marlins bats, which necessarily aren't at their highest point. But in this run, I think they've been significantly overvalued. I've been big on backing the Marlins at home and against lefties. When you look at all their metrics against righties and on the road, they're between 20 and 25th in pretty much every single metric you can look at. If you don't want to look at baseline WRC plus, 23rd, you look at OPS plus, you look at hard hit rate, you look at everything. It's all between 20 and 25th to say the best. So they're on the bottom side of mid in pretty much every offensive category, teetering beyond just bad. So, I mean, really, when you look at pretty much everybody in that lineup, not named Luis Arias, outside of the stretch that Jorge Soler and Brian De La Cruz kind of simultaneously had, the rest of the lineup hasn't been good at all. So, I'm not impressed by their bats. I don't understand why they get as much respect in certain matchups as they do, not just as far as the line, but as far as public discourse and whatever people are on too. So I'm perfectly fine with selling that. I'm of course perfectly fine with selling Jazz Chisholm back in the lineup. I think Colby said that might be a detriment to the lineup today, just because it's going to take time to get his timing back, I guess you could say. I don't know if it'll be a detriment, but it's definitely something that I don't mind as a matchup in there. But I like Garrett Whitlock too. And the Marlins as a lineup too, they really struggle against pitchers that are great at generating chases. And Garrett Whitlock, 94th percentile chase rate, and he is not going to walk anybody. So he's going to make this Marlins lineup hit, which for, again, everybody outside of Luis Arias, that's been how you beat them, especially when they're on the road. I was big in fading them in these same situations against the Mariners pitchers, which is clearly not the same. They're in a different hitting environment, of course, in Fenway. And, Garrett Whitlock is not Brian Wu or Luis Castillo or George Kirby. So I don't necessarily expect the offense to come out here and get shut out. That's not realistic, but I think Garrett Whitlock is going to pitch pretty well. And I do think Shandy just absolutely gets shelled. And for this Red Sox team that's been kind of middling as of late, they're coming off a series loss to the White Sox. The bats really haven't been there quite at all. And I see a team total, which is kind of moving along with the line up there at 4.5 minus 125 that they haven't hit in 6 games. So I'm thinking they score. Yes, a little bit of that has to do with them coming back to Fenway because they've been on the road for a little bit, but I think it's a great matchup, kind of all around, and I guess it can lead right into my prize pick square, which has to do with one of those games.
Let's talk.
With this game. I like Justin Turner over his fantasy score. Talking about attacking Sandy, like I said, the changeup has been a big difference. Justin Turner absolutely destroys it. 391 against the changeup, 4-run value. But he's also going to throw a lot of that sinker low and in, which Justin Turner also kills. So it's kind of a matchup nightmare. Right? Justin Turner with the rest of that Red Sox offense, I guess, towards the end of that Twin series, was really heating up. Then they went on the cold streak, like pretty much everybody in that lineup did. I think coming back home, they have a pretty big series here. So I like him today. And something else I didn't quite mention, just about the game level stuff too. I've been big at looking at like these series prices lately. And today, obviously, you have Whitlock Sandy with the Red Sox sitting at -130. Tomorrow, you have I forget. I think it's a bullpen game, but I forget who is starting it for the Red Sox.
I'll look it up for you real quick. It is Braxton Garrett versus TBD.
Yeah, TBD. So I think I saw that some name that was going to be starting for the bullpen game or opening for that. But it's Braxton Garrett, who's been fantastic against the bullpen game for the Red Sox. And then Wednesday, you have Jesus Luzardo against Brian Bayo. Doesn't quite make much sense to me that the Red Sox are -140 to win the series after it opened -120. Would you agree in that sense?
Couldn't agree with you more.
Yeah. So I'm thinking not necessarily like they can certainly win the next 2 games and lose this one, but I'm kind of framing my view of the series from that a little bit. So I love the Red Sox here, and I think they get to Sandy, but I also think the Marlins bats start to take a step back.
Hey, I mean, you convinced me, right? The way I looked at this game was like there's some lines that I see, I'm like, that's going to be popular. That is going to be a big-time game. You have the Red Sox favorite against Sandy, 5.08 ERA. A bunch of people are going to come on. They're going to pitch whatever way they want to. And the way I looked at it was, this might be the lowest point of Sandy's season right now, and wind is flying out, which is generally good or generally bad for fly ball pitchers. Sandy's more of a ground ball pitcher. Does he turn in a fine start? But again, it didn't make me bet the Marlins. It just kept me off the Red Sox. But you gave a phenomenal pitch. I mean, you sold me. I'm not betting on the Red Sox, but I'm rooting for you. And a lot of people are on Red Sox on this stream too. And when you got a 3 in a play, like I'm rooting for my boys that they're 3 in a play. That's sick.
Yeah, I got to do it. So yeah, I love the Red Sox. Love Turner. Just for the record too, we're talking Prize Pick squares. Zach Gallen is up for 2.5 earned runs, and all I've heard all day is about how he has a 1 ERA at home. And you know how many times
can't take earned run props. I can't do it.
I'm just putting it out there. I'm putting it out there because it's
just into the ether.
I'm just saying it's hitting because you know how many times he's given up 3 runs at home this year? Not a single time.
Oh, I thought it was once. No,
earned. I think he gave up 3.
Yeah,
he gave up 3 with 2 earned one time. But
okay,
3 earned runs hasn't happened once. And this is a Rays offense that has been god awful on the road and really has just sucked. Just period. They came off of a mid series where they split against the A's. Then I don't know what happened in the Royals series. It was in the Trop. Like they split that series. They looked terrible in 2 of those games. Now you play Zach Gallen, who's only -130 against. Granted, I love Tosh Bradley, but he's a rookie pitcher on the road against one of the hottest teams in the MLB. So I'm just saying Zach Gallen might get touched up a little bit today. I haven't seen the Rays. They dropped the lineup, but if they do, Harold Ramirez and he's in it, he's hitting the bomb.
We'll clip that when he does. Before you go, quick question. What was your read on all these Dodgers being up for 90 hits, runs, and RBIs?
Of course. Simple as that.
It's kind of a lot, though.
It is a lot. The one which Trent actually said it perfectly what I was thinking. Mookie is up for an RBI, which is weird. Granted, like you see Acuna up for this like every so often, like not often, but in like specific spots. I think he was up for Great American Ballpark with it one time, but a leadoff hitter where they also have Miguel Vargas up for a run. They have David Peralta up for a run. Those guys that are kind
David Peralta's up for 2.5 hits, runs, and RBIs. David Peralta.
He's honestly my favorite out of the bunch, but that Mookie square, that Mookie square is weird with him leading off that they have him up for an RBI. So like, I think the Dodgers score plenty of runs. I just don't think it's necessarily like crazy that they have everything up, being that they're in cores.
Yeah.
And
no, it's not like hold on, sound the alarms. I just looked at it. I was like, even for Dodgers at cores, that's a lot. That's kind of how I
it is. It is. It's just I try to take it with a grain of salt because it is the Dodgers. But yeah, they're going to score a lot of runs today, I think.
Good stuff. I'm hoping I got the over 11 or I got the over 12. I got the worst of the number. Javon, appreciate you, my friend. And we'll talk to you soon. Good luck. Go Sox.
Appreciate it.
All right. Let's go to Ollie 1 unit resident. Oh, we're Jake first. Sorry, Ollie 1 unit. We'll get you on first. Jake, we got a black screen, my friend. We got a black screen. Up. 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 Might be his little Wi-Fi. Should we just go to Ollie? Let's go to Ollie. We'll get Jake in here in a second. Ollie, how are you?
Great.
Eating anything delicious?
Taco Tuesday, buddy.
I like that. Where from?
Home.
Home. I like it.
Yeah, we cook around here.
I like that.
All right, let's get into it. I'll be
get
quick.
into it.
Promise.
Go
What's
ahead.
the first one?
Oh.
I'm waiting. I'm waiting for you. There we go.
Astros money line.
Yeah. My don't overthink it. Square play, baseball brain play of the day. This is the Cardinals just don't impress me. The Astros, I think what a lot of people are falling for the bait here is that, yeah, we all know that the Astros, I think this is a classic fake sharp spot. We'll see how it goes. Everybody thinks and knows that the Cardinals are severely underperforming, right? They're supposed to, they're minus 120 favorites to win the division beginning of the year, blah, blah, blah. The Astros are also underperforming this year pretty drastically. Like, they're supposed to be a 100-win baseball team, and they're just middling, a few games over 500. Now, granted, they've had a lot of injuries with Altuve at the beginning of the year. They haven't had like a healthy Lance McCullers all season, whatever you want to say, Yordan Alvarez. But the point of the matter is, the Astros, they don't hit well. And the only time I really am interested in backing them is when one of the best left-handed pitchers in baseball is pitching, and that we get that today at a very affordable price, I think. The Cardinals against left-handed pitching, last year they were the best top to bottom, start of the year, end of the year. That has just not been the same. And granted, it's been a little bit better lately. But when you look at the full scheme of things, they're just very average. I think it's like 101 WRC plus lately. It's like down in the 60s and 70s. And it did go up a little bit. I can't remember who they hit around, but they hit around a left-handed pitcher in the last week or so to get that number back up. But at the end of the day, I just don't see the Cardinals getting to Framber Valdez at home, where he's been as good as he's been. No matter where he pitches, he has been better at home. This will be his 11th home start. He's got an ERA right around 2. OPS is 100 points lower at home against, et cetera, et cetera. You can go on and on about Framber Valdez. At the end of the day, I just think this is going to be I think the Astros are going to win this game. They're going to get to Jordan Montgomery, who he is what he is, and a very inconsistent back end of the Cardinals bullpen. I think they do just enough to squeeze by.
I got nothing for you. I just like to play.
He's on the road. He is on the road. I'm sorry. This is in St. Louis. I'm sorry.
Yeah. I looked at this game and I saw very, very short money line. I was like, a lot of people are going to be,
And this has happened with the Cardinals all season. It hasn't stopped. It hasn't changed.
It's kind of like the Mets.
It's kind of like the Mets. It's kind of like the Orioles last year. They just like and like I said, Framber Valdez, for his career especially, it doesn't matter if he's home or away. His splits are almost identical. And this year, it's really not that much different. I mean, he's been really good on the road. He's been really good at home. This will only be his 6th road start. I'm sorry. But Montgomery is not good. I don't trust him. I think the Astros can be aggressive with Jordan Montgomery today. And I don't think it's going to be a blow. It's not going to be a sweat-free winner because the Astros offense is not good in it of themselves. Don't get me wrong, but pitching matchup-wise, I'm going to take my chances here with a good price on the Astros. Just like the Diamondbacks last week, they were like minus 140 against the Nationals. I'm sorry. I'm going to take that, and it worked out for me both days. So this is my don't overthink it play of the day.
Good shit, but we got more plays to talk about. What's next?
Yeah, one more play. I don't know if this is square contrarian or what, but I just like the under here again. You talked about the Mets. They are just a mess. They're not the locker room's a mess. Buck Showalter has lost the team. Justin Verlander doesn't know what's going on, and I think that feeds out over into the lineup. They can't hit anybody. And Julio Teheran, I came on here like a month ago and said, let's just see how it goes. I'm going to keep betting on either him or unders. Bet on his under. Worked out. He looks great. His stuff isn't necessarily great, but his control has been good. He's not really, he's producing somewhat soft contact and not really walking too many guys, not letting too many guys get on base against him, which is good. And the Mets, like on paper, yeah, the names scare you: Lindor, Alonso, McNeil, Nimmo. Like it's still like a scary lineup to look at on paper, but once you look at how they've been this year, and you look back like, oh, Francisco Lindor is not a $340 million player. That's crazy. Who would have thought about that when the time came? And like it,
I love Lindor. I know
I love Cleveland Lindor, but let's face it, since he's been a Met, he's got like a Doug Mirabelli OPS. It ain't good.
Doug Mirabelli, what a name.
And then on the flip side, I will give the Brewers credit. They've been better against left-handed pitching lately, and David Peterson is not good. So you can take this as in one of two angles. You can say the Brewers have been getting better and better against lefties lately because the last 2 weeks, the last month, they're average against left-handed pitching. And on the full season, they are 28th in WRC plus against left-handed pitching. So what's going to happen? Are they going to start to regress again and go back to what they have been shown on a bigger sample size? Or are they actually showing improvements? And are they going to continue to climb those rankings? I think this is a good spot for David Peterson to pitch well. I know that sounds weird this season, but as bad as he is, I don't think he's this bad of a pitcher. I think he can be a serviceable back end 5 for the Mets. And I think today we get a start like that. And on the other side, I think Julio Teheran. I've no interest in fading this guy because I did fade him. He pitched like 6 shutout against the Blue Jays. So I'm just taking the under, not overthinking this one as well. Those are my 2 plays.
2 plays, 2 winners. Good stuff.
That's the idea. 2 plays, 2 winners yesterday. 2 plays, 2 winners today. That's the plan.
Shout out the sweep yesterday. Give me your favorite Prize Pick square, and is it Garrett Whitlock case?
It's not. Staying just because I don't. Although Jazz Chisholm probably is a free strikeout coming back today, I think it's Manny Machado today. So give me Manny Machado over 1.5 bases.
Manny Machado.
I know the Padres are kind of corporate square. No way this hits today, but Manny Machado against Rich Hill, I'll take his over 1.5 bases. The last time he was going against junky left-handed pitching in San Francisco, he hit he hit a home run against Alex Wood, and I think he goes over his bases today. That's my Padre I would target.
Good stuff, brother. Good stuff. I just wrote it down. Thanks for bringing on the winners. I'm on the Padres team total. Hopefully it hits. Hopefully I'm not too corp. I don't know. I put my plays in the night before, and then people are on whatever they're on, and I'm like, all right, I'm on what I'm on.
That's what happened to me yesterday. I put my plays in Sunday night. I said I knew that Orioles over was going to be like everybody's favorite play. Yeah. You know what? I didn't care. Still good to pass up. What happened? It hit with 5 rain delays. Didn't matter.
Didn't matter.
Okay. Cool.
Good stuff. All right, we'll talk to you soon.
Check out the shirt.
Oh, my king.
Let's go.
Dude, my guy. Team player right there. That's
an old one. I've had this one for a while, folks.
Fits well,
nice and snug. I got it last summer, so.
You're my guy. Appreciate you, my friend.
All right.
We'll talk to you soon.
We'll see you.
Okay. Get your Just Baseball merch in the episode description. Ollie won units on it, and he's winning units. Are you winning units? Get yourself a Not Gambling Advice t-shirt. Oh, my God. We have crabs coming on.
Ollie might have to return that shirt after this Houston Astros game today. He might need the money.
Why? Because the Cardinals are so sharp?
I mean, you tell me. Look, Vegas wouldn't look like it does right now if lines like Houston did.
That is my favorite line that you've ever said. Like, Vegas doesn't have all these waterfalls and shiny lights because of people.
I mean, they're not building these new casinos with lines like Houston ML winning. I'm just being plain and simple. Plain and simple.
Is everyone on the Astros today? That's the second Astros.
Not really.
Yeah.
Not really. I just can't resist.
Yeah, I know.
3 units on it.
Okay.
Oops. Next.
Why?
Next play, we got the Orioles first 5.
Wait, hold on. Go back to the Cardinals for a second. Just because no way?
I mean, I really don't have much more of a reason for the Cardinals ML other than that line, brother. I'm just being completely frank.
So you decided 3 units. You decided to max it.
Yeah,
Mine's
we're
a
going
little weird.
3 units on the whole card. This is what you've been asking for. You can't complain.
No, that's not
when you
what
tell-
I. Yeah, I asked for your card, not 3 units on the whole card.
You can't complain and tell me to bet the whole card, and then when I bet the whole card 3 unit nuke piece every play, you can't get mad. That's not how this works.
You know what? You're right. You're right.
That's not how this works.
I hope there's
I bet on it.
slips. I hope there's slips to accompany these. Are there slips to accompany these? Are we putting 3 units on these?
There's slips.
Okay.
There's slips.
No,
I'm
I
betting all
trust
these
you.
plays. I'm
One
betting all
thing
these
about
plays.
Krabs. One thing about Krabs. You can say whatever you want about Krabs. You cannot say that he doesn't hammer his plays. That's
I'm
one
betting
thing
every
you can
single
never
one of these plays. Tracked on Pikkit. Follow me. Boom. Orioles. First 5 -1/2. I have some actual reasoning for this play. Look, I think Wells does deal. I'm kind of with the public on this one. I'm on a strikeout prop. I think he shoves, but I want to eliminate the bullpens. Although the Orioles bullpen is better than the Reds. I feel like the Reds have been comeback kings recently. They're kind of late game specialists. So I want to eliminate that, take them out of the game. I think Abbott gets roughed up a little bit. The wind's blowing out. It's a good sign there. And I think Wells, I mean, he's been nails at home this year. He's got like a 2.5 ERA there, a bunch of starts. I'm pretty much just betting that matchup here and taking Orioles first 5 -1/2 to be up a run halfway through this game.
Okay. No, I mean, I like this play. It's very popular. Orioles.
Yeah, Orioles ML is for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. Yeah. No doubt.
So you got to play nobody's on, and then to play everybody's on.
Oof.
What could go wrong?
Yeah, I got all types of plays, brother.
All types
I got
of plays.
plays
Let's
over
go to
here,
play number
plays over
3.
there.
Red
Yeah,
Sox
Red
money
Sox
line. Why
ML.
not? Yep. All the
You
marbles.
probably already heard a better pitch from Javon, but I am on the Red Sox ML here. Squad rides. Fade Sandy until we see him pitch like he did last year.
It's kind
Really
of
no other
fair.
way to put it. And I
Did
think
you-
Whitlock deals. Ollie's guy. I think he deals today.
Did you hear my point about like I feel like we're buying or we're selling Sandy stock at like just so low right now? Because
Yeah.
if this was even a 3.6 ERA Sandy, the Marlins would be minus 145 in the spot. I really
know.
believe that.
For sure. But last year's Crabs would be trying to fade or trying to back Sandy right now and fade this bad streak. And you'd be telling me in my ear, until you see Sandy get better, keep fading him because baseball brain. I mean, he looks like crap right now. He's pitching in Boston tonight. Don't ever think it. Don't ever think it.
Red
Sandy
Sox
pitching
money
in
line.
Boston tonight with those new lights and all those runs scored there. Give me a break. He's about to get crushed. Red Sox ML. All right.
Vegas isn't shiny because it plays on the Astros.
I mean, let's be honest. I don't
I'm
know whose
always
pitch
gonna
was
laugh at
worse. I mean, Ollie's pitch was debatably worse than mine, and I didn't have a sell job on that. So we'll just leave it at that. I mean, I don't think anybody said a single actual reason to take that play on either side.
Ollie gave good reasoning. I think Tomas
No,
might be
all
on the
he said
Astros.
was that the Astros are good and the Cardinals are bad. That's all he said. I mean, if that's how we bet every day, holy shit, the casinos and sports books would be out of business. Out of biz.
All right, what's the fourth play?
We've got the over in the primetime game.
This I need to be on this as soon as I saw it.
This is nasty, isn't it?
Yeah, this is
this
horrible.
is a good one now. No, this is a good
No,
one. See,
I
this is
know,
how I
I
know
do.
this is probably the best play. Yeah, because
Yeah.
it's sneaky. Nobody's taking this. Look, Ryan, Elder, I'm pretty sure they're both coming off their best starts of the season. Ryan coming off a complete game, I believe, shutout in his last outing. So these guys are cracked out. This total's high at 9, moving up, good splits. Braves offense, baseball brain. At home, they mash. They put up like more than 6 runs a game. I'm backing their offense to keep rolling. Hottest team in baseball right now. Give me the Braves offense to get to Ryan. I don't think anybody who gets on the mound is getting in front of this Braves offense and slowing them down. And then I think Elder is due to regress. So give me the over in this game. It's sharp. It's gross. It's hitting. All right.
It is absolutely disgusting. I almost rushed to bet the under. I'm like, wait a minute.
Yeah, you pumped the brakes there.
I pumped the fuck out of the brakes because I
Yeah.
was like, I wouldn't be surprised if this was at 7.5, 9.
Now it is on TBS. And, you know, sometimes they do pay premium for those good baseballs if they want to put on a show.
They paid
Okay.
cream. They paid
Stacked
cream.
cards, stacked slate. They got a lot of competition today. They might have to bring out the juice baseballs.
Vegas isn't shiny because people are on this under. All right, let's get to play number
Straight up.
5.
Straight
Play
up.
number
On to the
5.
next one. What do we got left?
Over 9, Milwaukee Mets.
Oof. Yeah, really hard to not take the Mets today. Shout out the Mets yesterday for caking my sweep. Yeah, they are atrocious. So instead of trying to be sharp and catch the falling knife and back them to get back on track, I do think they keep losing probably and end up firing their coach soon. Anywho, give me runs from both sides in this game. Tehran's up for 2.5 earned runs again on Prize Picks. He can't keep getting away with it. I don't understand it. He's been better than he was for 4 years when he was down in Atlanta, when he was in his prime. It
Well, he
makes
made
no
changes.
sense.
He made changes to his pitch mix. He's throwing this
Okay,
cutter now.
Yeah, well, whatever he's doing is working, but I don't
Yeah.
believe in it. I don't believe in that arm, and I do believe in the Mets offense. And looking at some of the odds, Alonso is super short to go yards. I'm on him to score a run on Prize Picks as well, but I think he hits a nuke tonight and gets that offense going. We know Lindor is going to do his thing. Peterson just has to do just enough. I think he'll probably be on a pitch count here, coming off the IL, I believe, but he'll do just enough. I think both bats, even the Brewers against Peterson, if he gets knocked out early, that Mets bullpen has been atrocious. So give me runs from the Brewers as well there, and give me. I think this will be a shootout, like 9-8 type game. 9-8.
I love it. Brewers win, or you like the Mets though? I know you think the Mets are going to win.
It was really hard not to take the Mets today.
Yeah.
It was very difficult, but they're not a winning team, and they don't win. Plain and simple. They're going to fire Buck tomorrow when they lose this game.
Cohen, do you think they're gonna fire Buck tomorrow when they lose this game?
Like, yeah. I mean, I don't know if it's gonna be tomorrow. Like, they're gonna fire Buck, I think.
If they lose 1 or 2 more games, he's getting games.
It's not even like, even if it's not his fault, like, because everyone's playing like shit, obviously, but like, I think it's just like the only right answer is just like get rid of the coach and like we'll see what happens. Like, we're not gonna go buy more players.
Phillies did that with Girardi.
Yeah,
they were just like, see ya. The Yankees fired Billy Martin 7 times.
Yeah. He's done. Sorry.
Yep. I mean, the veterans don't respect him. They don't like him. He's a young guy's coach. Get him out of that.
They can have Aaron Boone.
Sure. Yeah, you
All
guys are pissed together up there in New York, man. God.
5 plays, 15 units.
Yeah.
Why not?
This is high risk, high reward, chat, but we're diversifying the portfolio, spreading out the winners. And if we go 5-0, I'm right back there in there. If I'm 0-5, though, I'm absolutely kicked. Absolutely kicked.
What I will say is, what I will say is,
that guy out of here. Get him out.
What I will say is, yesterday you said please fade. Are you saying
Yeah.
please tail today, or how are you
No,
going
fade
about
these
it?
plays. I mean, look, I'm down 20 units, guys, in this challenge, and I'm up units on the season. It doesn't really make much sense. It's like I'm only picking the losers. If I were you guys,
What did I say? I said play your card. You're winning other
If I
bets, but
was
you bring
in-
one and it loses.
if I was in their seat, I would be faded. That's all I'm going to say, because look at the stats, look at the results. That's all that matters. And right now I'm in last. So until I turn that around, I would fade. All right, and also
Fair
W
enough.
jinx. I'll catch you, gentlemen. Let's go Nats tonight. Although they're probably going to lose 10.
All right. See you later. Damn it. This is a fun stream. We got Jake Hazen. We think we have Jake. Hopefully W Internet. Oh, we got bearded, good internet. Jake Hazen. Tell me why the Padres are putting up 75 runs today, because we were texting and you put me on to Rich Hill. Whenever he has an off day in between, dude gets destroyed.
Hold on, I'm trying to go to a spot in my house where my vacuum's just not going crazy. Okay, we should be good in here.
Yeah.
Yeah, Rich Hill. How about him? So I've noticed this thing with Rich Hill, and I picked up on it about a month and a half ago when I bet the Pirates against Erod, when Rich Hill was playing. And I noticed that like these Rich Hill master classes, like how the hell does he keep doing this? Like nothing about him is good. Like he's throwing like 72 miles per hour. So I had to dig into it more. And the more I dig into it, I noticed that every time that he pitches well, one of the flamethrower Pirates pitchers were pitching the day before. I'm like, okay, that makes sense, because getting a guy throwing just nasty stuff at 97, 99 miles per hour, and then you get a guy who's throwing like, I don't know, dude, I could throw as hard as Rich Hill, dude. Like everyone, like you won't be as good a pitcher as him, but you can throw as hard as him. And it's just a tough thing to adjust to for these hitters. I mean, that's the thing I love doing. I love targeting hitters, adjusting to this light is just so in the way. Hold on, we're gonna get some natural lighting in here. I like targeting, bats that are tough to adjust to, like I do throughout the year. Like a team sees repeatedly like bad pitchers, and they see a good one, like they tend to not adjust as well. We just saw the Rangers Suarez and the Braves, our bet lost, but like the Rangers Suarez read was right. He went there and shoved. It's a real thing. So the Pirates. So Rich Hill doesn't get to do that today. He doesn't get one of those flamethrowers behind him to go out and just shove. And so now I think the Padres are going to beat him up. They're a team that loves to beat up soft-tossing lefties. You already got into it. The soft-tossing lefties they just faced, they've just like demolished every single one except for there's one.
Kyle Freeland. But I looked in that game, they left on like 700 base runners.
I'm sure the underlying numbers are pretty good.
Yeah. I mean, multiple walks, 6 hits, and they scored 1 run. It was like the classic Padres. It's bases loaded every inning. Manny Machado like decides like, I'm kind of tired. I'm just going to ground to a double play so we can go home. It was one of those games.
Yeah, that happens quite a bit with the Padres.
Yeah.
So they have a 142 WRC plus against lefties in June. So like, I'm just like saying, Rich Hill, dude, I just wish you luck today. I guess as a tip your cap start. If Rich Hill can come out and put out a seriously good outing today, I just would tip my cap.
I couldn't agree more. I was on the kind of same wavelength too. When we were talking about it, I looked deeper into it and I even texted you. I was like, I feel like I'm stealing your write-up because you sent me what you were writing up and I was like, this is exactly what I would say. And so I even quoted you and I shouted you at the beginning of stream because I was like, the one thing that I didn't know was the Rich Hill adjusting. Like, obviously, I know about how different pitchers adjust and all that, but I didn't fully realize Rich Hill's situation that following Keller, following Ortiz, Rowansi, Vince Velasquez, doesn't matter. That's when he can be effective.
It's a real thing. I text you his last start.
Exactly.
I mean,
and I looked more like deeper into more starts just to like kind of confirm that's when he gets blown up.
The thing is too, it's every single time too.
Yeah. But it's baseball. Like, that's why it's like, I always want to make people aware, like, it's baseball. He could throw a freaking no-hitter today. But it's like, we're going to keep playing these matchups because when you play more of them, they're going to hit more often than they don't. And that's our goal long-term, is to win money. So like Jake and I bet very similarly. We play the numbers, we play the matchups, and I think long-term we're going to win. I think this is a great spot. And you're even laddering it a little bit. You think they put up 7?
Yeah, I think they dominate Rich Hill today. I think it's going to be just a classic, just like, holy fuck, they already scored 7 runs in the third inning. Like, I think it's just going to be a very quick and easy bet.
Fuck yeah. Let's roll. All right, we got more plays, though.
Yeah, we're fucking with the woo today, Peter.
I like it.
Yeah, I mean, like, one reason why I'm taking this, all right, so a lot of people were pushing a Castillo masterclass yesterday. A lot of people I respect, smart people, and they all got, the Mariners took over the 1.5, but
they won 8-4. It's just the Mariners' bats just exploded.
Yeah, I know a lot of people were backing, Castillo and the King total unders for the Nationals. And outfitting would be your ace stud pitcher you just signed to this huge contract, and here comes a 5.24 ERA rookie, and they go under 2.5 runs. And like Brian Wu, like,
he's good.
Shout out Just Baseball for putting me onto this guy, because like I've just like saw like things I was reading. I'm like, dude, this guy sucks. And then I text you about, what do you know about Wu? Like, this is literally Bryce Miller. And I'm like, okay. And I watched his start against the Rangers, and granted, he got crushed, but you saw it with the fastball. I was just like the worst possible like debut, like on the road against the Rangers.
Just
like,
nervous.
That's and honestly, I like that happened because now his ERA is always gonna be really trash, and we know how much better he is, dude. He has like 2.45 xERA.
Yeah, he's a stud. Like, he is
so good.
And it's not even shout out me, it's shout out Aram. Like, Aram texted us like before he came up. Like, this is what Aram does, and this is why Aram is so good at this, is like he'll identify, like, he's been on Ellie De La Cruz for over a year. Yeah, he had him number one on our prospect rankings, like, before anybody. He was on Smith Shawver. He's been on all these guys. He was on Bryce Miller before he came up. He's like, Brian Woo's going to be coming, and he's another Bryce Miller. And then he got blown up by the Rangers, and we were like kind of dogging on Aram, be like, how is it going? He's like, watch. And he's awesome. I love Brian Wu.
Oh, yeah.
It's just the problem with home runs. Is he going to give up home runs at T-Mobile to the Nationals? I don't think so.
Yeah, and it's the bad hitting conditions as well, I believe. So
yeah.
Yeah, so we're fucking with the Woo, and we're team total today. Team total under 2.5, and that's kind of sketchy, but they got a great Mariners bullpen behind it. Also, do you know who the expected ERA leader in the MLB is?
In all of baseball? No.
Paul Sewald leads the MLB in xERA.
Oh, for like relievers. Yeah, I mean, it's a little janky, a little bit for relievers. It's tough.
But like Paul Sewald, though?
Yeah, I mean, it's sick. What is it, like 1 something? 1-0 something?
5. It's crazy.
Yeah. What's your prize pick square for us? Or do you have one more play?
Woo under hits. It's at 5. I think he today. And one thing I want to add on, and I'm not saying the play is gonna miss, and I'm not backing it, but like, have I ever seen anybody on stream here like say anything good about the Marlins?
No.
Ever. What's the hate with the Marlins, man? They're just winning games. Let them be.
No, I know. I think people just love the Red Sox today. I get it.
No, but like I'm not saying like I don't have any money in the Marlins today by any means. I'm not saying it's a bad pick at all, but like I've just never seen somebody come on today. It's like, I'm on the Marlins today. They're gonna like I've never seen that before.
No, I agree with you, man. Well, Jake, appreciate it. Brian Wu under 5 hits. I think this is an auto play. I love this play.
Let's get it, baby.
Keep going. All right, baby. All right, we'll talk to you soon. All right. All right, I think that's Oh, we got a Ben video. I love a good Ben video. Let's end it with a great Ben video. All right, let's watch.
With the first pick, select
Ingram, and this ball is well hit in center field, and it is gone.
with the second pick, select.
And then he just feeds off the sweeper to try to get strikeouts to righties.
There you go, fly ball. This one deep to left field and kiss this one goodbye.
With the third pick, select.
14, got him. Look at the movement on that one.
The fourth pick, select.
And got him. Good job by Blackburn.
With the fifth pick, select. The sixth pick, select.
I love that card. I love that card. That's a great card. I love a good Ben video. That was a great card. I don't know if he's listening. That was a great card. Yeah. Yeah, let's keep going. Colorado. Yeah, I like that. I think they're going to put up plenty of runs too. Oakland. Okay. Minnesota. I think Oakland's actually very sharp today. Yankees suck. Seattle, first 5. Yeah. I would want to ask, what is his favorite from there? Abbott under 5.5 Ks. Kershaw over 2.5 earned runs. Tehran under Ks. Luis Arias. I wish I knew his favorite one, but all right, let's vote on this Prize Picks entry. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 plays. Arias is free. All right, so we'll do Luis Arias. Oh, wait. No, he's joking because he's on the Red Sox. Yeah, he's definitely joking. Let's vote. Or Javon, I don't know if you're available. You want to help me cook this? If you want to come back in not joking. Javon, you want to come back in queue and help us craft this up? We need to hit a sixer. We got to hit a sixer, Javon. Let me know if you want to come back on. Sure. Let it go. Let's cook up this 6-piece. Let's cook her up. Cook her up. Oh, I'm pricked. All right, relax over there, Kobe. More milk. Jesus. We gotta be better than that. We gotta be better than that. Yeah, I feel good about this one. A lot of good plays. A lot of good plays. I'm hearing word the Cubs went down to 8. Is that true? That is true. I like that. I don't like this Dodgers Rockies total just crashing. Whatever. I still think it's gonna hit. Javon, let's cook. Let's cook. Let's cook. So we got Kevin Gausman over fantasy, which is from mid-major. We got Randall Grichuk over bases. We got Jordan Montgomery under 27.5 fantasy. We got Joe Ryan over Ks. We got Justin Turner over fantasy, which is yours. We got Machado over, or Producer Cohen, do you want to just, well, it's kind of impossible because we have too many plays. Manny Machado over bases. Brian Wu under hits. I think my favorite square today, I'm going to bite on the Mookie Betts RBI square.
Yeah, do it.
Yeah, I'm biting on it. I'm on that anyway. Yeah. So I'm going to put Mookie RBI in. Yep. I'm going to put, I love the Brian Wu under 5 hits. Do you have anything against that, Javon?
No, got nothing against it at all.
It's a great play. I wanted to play Brian Wu in some facet, and the fact that Jake made a good pitch for his under hits, I think it's a good one. Your play, let's do Justin Turner over fantasy.
Let's do it.
Okay. So, all right. So I'm just erasing these right now. So Justin Turner over fantasy. I love the Brian Wu play. So now we're down. So we got 3 spots with 5 really good props. Gausman, Grichuk, Montgomery, Ryan, Machado. I really liked Anthony's pitch on Joe Ryan over Ks. Was there any one of those 5 that I said that stands out to you?
Say it again. So what were the hitters? I know
yeah. So it's Machado over bases.
Machado.
And Randall Grichuk over bases. Those are the hitters. And then for pitchers, Joe Ryan over Ks, Monty under 27.5 fantasy, and Kevin Gausman over his fantasy score.
mean, I definitely like Kevin Gausman. I think he absolutely shoves today. But, I
Yeah.
mean, I'll be honest, I've said that a couple times, and he gets blown up in the first inning. So take it for what it is. I do really like him to shove today. Out of the hitters, I definitely like Machado a little bit more than Krishik.
I would agree. I like Machado a little bit more than Grichuk too. So we'll put Machado and Gausman in there. Yeah, over 1.5 bases. Oh, that run is staring me right in the face, though. Oh, all right. Well, we got to get going in. We'll take us over 1.5 bases. I think the last leg should be Joe Ryan over K's. I think it's a really good play. Like, I think the Braves, they might hit. But I think Joe Ryan is going to make his case. You know what? He actually brought something to my attention. Truist Park, the number one park for strikeouts, according to Baseball Savant. Thing is, Joe Ryan's been around this number, but I think it's a little bit discounted, of course, because he's facing the Atlanta Braves. He's an underdog. 5.5 is a pretty good number, though.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have anything against that.
Was there any other square? So right now, what is that? Is that 4? Oh, yeah, put Kevin Gausman's over fantasy. I want to ride that because mid-major Matt's got 6 units pending in different spots in this game. I just want to tell that because he's my boy. Is there a prop that you like much better than Joe Ryan fantasy?
I mean, I don't have all that good of a grip on that game personally, especially Joe Ryan. But, I mean, I wouldn't have a problem throwing Luis Arias. That could be Ben related. Throw him in there. So I wasn't joking when I was saying that.
Yeah, why weren't you joking? I'm just surprised about that.
Well, because, I mean outside of the fact that he's Luis Arias, like, he is the one sore spot matchup-wise that I look and say, okay, he's going to beat me. Just
okay.
I don't really trust anybody else to do it. And this is also, like, I was looking at, like, odds and stuff. Usually, like, you don't see Arias get much respect, like, as far as, like, it's over 1.5 bases. It's usually, like, plus money or, like, minus 105 because he only hits singles for the most part. It's like minus 130 today, which I thought was pretty weird, even though it's at Fenway Park where you're going to see a little more juice. So I thought that was strange, and I like the matchup too.
And what Luis Arias can do, if we're talking 1.5 bases, pelt one off the wall.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, let's throw in Luis Arias. So this is the 6-piece. Oh, this feels good, Javon. I'm not going to lie to you. Luis Arias over 1.5 bases. We got Kevin Gausman's over fantasy score. What is it? We got Justin Turner's over fantasy score. We got Brian Wu less than 5 hits. Mookie over an RBI. And Manny Machado more than 1.5 bases. This feels good. I'm not going to lie.
It does look good.
Thank you, Javon. I appreciate it for coming on for a little bit. And I'm going to place this and I'm going to post it on my Twitter. But I'll talk to you later, my friend. Go Sox. I really hope you actually – I hope you would cry. When you guys both fired me, I'm like, I really want this to hit now.
Yeah,
I'm fired up.
Let's get it tonight. All
right, we'll talk to you soon.
Yep.
Ladies and gentlemen, hopefully you enjoyed the stream. Yeah, keep that there. I'm gonna bet it. So I'm gonna bet that, and I'm gonna post it on my Twitter. If you guys want to tail along, again, remember use code JustBaseball. I know it's Corp, but just freaking, you want free coin or not? You want free coin or not? What? It's Corp to give you free coin? Oh, it's so Corp. He's doing a giveaway. Here's money. You want it? All right, everybody. I'm excited. No Ryan. I know. Damn it. We can't do a 7. I do like that. I fully sign off on that prop. I like it. If that's the one that sells and like one of these doesn't, I'm going to be so mad. But we're going to roll with this one. Appreciate you guys. Of course, we'll be back tomorrow. What's the Wednesday slate looking like? We got 15 games? Oh, yeah, we're going to have a bunch of games. Yeah, we'll see you guys tomorrow. Again, 4:30 p.m. Eastern. We started a little bit early because, of course, we had this many picks and we had to do a bunch of shit. Cohen, if you could drop the Pikkit link in the chat. Make sure to download Pikkit, guys. You want to track all of our plays. I don't know if you guys have it already, but use code Peter when you sync your sports book, anywhere from $3 to $100. No brainer, guys. Remember, these apps, I'm not just throwing them at you for no reason. These are stuff I use. I use PrizePicks, I use BetMGM, and I use Pikkit every single day. These will make you a better sports bettor, especially Pikkit. Obviously, PrizePicks and BetMGM, you just bet on them. But PrizePicks, they'll help you throughout your slate, or Pikkit, help you throughout your slate. You see where everybody else is on. Make sure to use that code, Peter, when you sync your sports book, because you want to see how you're doing. All right? Love you guys. Should we raid anybody? Is anybody should we raid? Should we raid? Yeah. Anyone want to raid anybody? All right. Just raid Ref That Bets. Let's raid the man. But again, appreciate you guys. All right. We'll talk to you guys soon. All right. We got to remember one thing, though. It's not even gambling advice. Love you guys. Let's get some winners tonight. Why not us? See you guys later.